Soy Duro, welcome to the Sae Bae cast. I am honored to have you. How are you, man?
Yo, I'm doing good, man. Feeling awesome, pleasure to be here. I've watched plenty of the cast before, so finally an honor to be on one, man. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. Honored to hear that as well, that you listen to the cast. So, listen, I reached out to you basically as soon as I saw it because I feel like it was a matter of months ago, like just 5 months ago or something, that you died on your hardcore. That's what it seemed like to me in my timeline. But it was much earlier than that. It was like the beginning of last year. Is that right? When you died?
Yeah, so a lot of people tell me the same thing every time they pop up to my stream. They're like, "Yo, I feel like you just made this hardcore. Like, how are you already with mega rares and stuff?" And time just flies, man. I actually made this account on the same day that my last one died, on March 15th of last year. So in 5 days from this recording, I'll actually be making 1 year on the account.
That is honestly mind-boggling to and I understand, I had the GMs, Mutt's team, Mutt's and Lake and everybody else back in the summer, and I for some reason in my head as well, I'm thinking like a full GM team, like a team of 5 getting GM helm. In my head I was thinking like maybe this is like just under a 2-year grind. I don't know, I don't even know the time frame, but they were like, yeah, we could probably do it in like 6 or 7 months. I'm like, what? Now I think it's been 6 or 7 months right now, but they are getting very close. I don't know how many lives they have left, like maybe 2 or something. But the fact that you did this all in a year from scratch after just having died is just mind-boggling, because that's not a lot of time to get all the upgrades. I mean, just to build up an account to get Blood Torva in general, like to do that under a year is just wild. But then to do everything else on top of that and all the other weapons you need is just insane, dude. So big fucking ups from me. Like I said this before the recording, but I was one of those creators that was nonstop saying how impossible getting GM would be on a hardcore, and then of course with group hardcore I was like, that is absolutely like impossible to do. So the fact that you've already defied what I thought was possible, and then now there's a team approaching what I thought was actually virtually impossible, is just so cool that I'm playing a game where the impossible can happen. So I want to kind of dive into the journey with you about how you see this game as a player, because I swear to God, like those that can get a Zuck helm on a hardcore, you guys are built different. And I feel like the grind mentality that you guys have has got to be just rock solid, because I don't understand how you don't lose motivation after like dying. Because this is your what account? Is this like your, I want to say this is like high, like eighth of hardcore or something?
My 11th hardcore, man. Number 11. Lucky number 11. Yeah, RuneScape players are just a different breed, man. Like, honestly, like, every time you think that somebody sets the standard, like, somebody goes and always, like, one-ups it or does something cooler or better. So, in that regards, like, RuneScape players are truly a different breed. But, the grind set, really, bro, honestly, it is sometimes demotivating when you die, obviously. And like when I most recently died, which is already a year ago, to think about is crazy. I feel like at first I was very like dragging ass in a sense, like just not really wanting to.
Mm-hmm.
This last time at least, but usually I enjoy making new accounts because I don't know, just new accounts are fun to make and stuff. But
let me ask you about your first hardcore compared to your 11th hardcore. What has been the difference of skill gap and everything else? Because I believe, you've built all these skills up from playing all these hardcores. It's not like you were just born with all these skills in order to get a Zuck helm. So what was the progression of you getting better as a player?
Yeah, bro. Honestly, my first hardcore, I actually died at TOB, but it was like 5 years ago. Actually, Mookie Wookie Praise Foot was in the raid when I died. I like DC to blow, but bro, I was so much worse at the game. Like I would just like blow pipe freaking Maiden and Blowpipe Zarpus, and I didn't even know how to melee Zarpus, and like all these things that like Verzik at 20%, I would just crossbow it from far away and like stay 121, and I would tell you on any little like thing, you know, like room crossbowing Sawdust Egg and stuff. Like honestly, I have gotten better just by mainly playing hardcore because I really don't PVM on a main. Like the only time I PVM on my main is to like practice something for the hardcore. Like when I first learned hard mode Tob, and I would do like 20 runs max, and then I would just send it. Like so, I don't know. I feel like I've always been a quick learner though. And also like I used to do a lot of PvP, so like the whole switching gear, switching prayers, and eating, all that, you know, comes to me easily because of that, since I already was used to it, and you know, have the switches down and stuff. So there's that for sure.
What do you feel like was your biggest breakthrough as a PVMer? I feel like for me, just as an example, was probably learning one tick flicking way early on, just like grinding Slayer and learning how to one tick flick properly. I feel like that was a big breakthrough. Literally, where I started understanding the timing with this game.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that you bring that up. I feel like just killing random Slayer mobs, I got really good. Like, I would just get super sweaty, like step under to put ourselves on the same tick, and like flick, and then like, I don't know, just doing all this weird stuff, just like literally like unnecessary sweat while killing a 4-tick Slayer monster. Honestly, the same for me.
Yeah, that I feel like Iron Man genuinely shot through with skill. I'm not, to be fair, mains, like there have always been like a handful of mains that have just been absolutely insane at the game, but I feel like as a whole, Iron Men that have progressed pretty far kind of end up intuitively picking up all these sort of PVM skills and stuff, because one, they're always down on prayer pots, so like you're kind of forced to do some wizardry with your fucking prayer book the whole time you're killing like 4-tick monsters. But yeah, I mean, back in the early days, I learned so much just playing an Iron Man, and then just pushing myself to learn just basic bosses like Serb and Sire and stuff. And I feel like on a main, there would have been a lot of intimidation had I not had to do those bosses. I just would have maybe skipped them or something. But Iron Man as a whole really got me past that fear. Did you ever have fear with bosses or like intimidation with Inferno or whatever?
Oh, bro, for sure, 100%. My first Iron Man cape took me like a whole month, and I was like running out of blood runes, and I had no GP left, and I was just looking for ways to make more GP. And this was like 5 years ago, so you know, didn't come as easy. I wasn't even doing CG at the time, so it was just like a struggle. Honestly, Inferno was a big push for me, but once I got it, it felt relieving, you know. It felt honestly, that first cape on my iron, which wasn't even my first cape ever, but on an Iron Man, like with the supplies and whatnot, it felt so much better.
Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. What do you what was the hardest thing to do, or hardest task? I want to almost, because don't you have Zuck Helm on a different account? This is just your hardcore that you got Zuck Helmet on.
Yeah, so the only other account that I had a Zuck helmet on was the hardcore that I died on 2 years ago, and I was like 8 CAs away, and then I got it like the next day as a regular iron. Yeah, it was like the most bittersweet GM ever. I didn't even feel good about it. But dude,
I'm sorry, I need to interrupt. Like, dude, the fact that happened, how the hell do you build the motivation to restart from fucking scratch again? Like, I don't get that, man. That is just heartbreaking, dude.
Well, honestly, that account I had for like 3 years. It was maxed and everything. Like, I had everything. Literally, Shadow, Scythe, Tebow, even the other megas like Elder, Kodai. I had not Blood Torva, but Torva. Obviously, I got Blood Torva the next day. But I had everything on that account, dude. All the DT2 rings, the Soul Reaper. Like, that account was literally kitted. And then I died to the bees, and then the very next day I just finished GM because I was so close. It was heart wrenching, but since I had that account for like 3 years, I just it wasn't really too tough for me to remake like this most recent one where I had like died twice, and then that account that I remade on, I got 2 out of 4 awakened in like 4 months of real lifetime, and died like to TOA afterward. And that account was literally 4 months old of like IRL time. I had like 60 days playtime though. degenning.
Damn. Yeah, what is that? What does the schedule look like for you? Because you're full time, correct? So you're just full
Yeah,
time
so
gaming.
I just now recently I've been going to the gym a lot and playing a lot less, to be honest. Like my current hardcore, the one that I just recently GM'd on, I did the average and I have like 9.5 hours a day, which honestly,
Okay, that's about
compared to
me.
like yeah, compared to like other accounts that I've played, that's really not much. When I did a group hardcore with Alfie, Oda, Lola, and Beardy, I had like 16 days, 16 hours a day. It was insane. I was just like literally like losing
Holy.
sleep. But that was like it took off my streaming career, so I was just taking advantage and streaming as much as I could
Yeah, yeah.
because I was literally like a 20 viewer Andy at the time, and then
Yeah.
my streaming career just blew up with that. So I just I went full head on into that. So yeah, compared to that, I only have like 9.5 hours a day. So I go to the gym typically around this time or like an hour from now, like 1 to 2 p.m. I get home, I have a little snack, and then I just stream for like 8 hours to maybe sometimes 10, 12. It just depends.
Dang.
Um,
So what's the plan now with the current hardcore account that has Zuckhelm?
Honestly, well, I don't have the Scythe or the Shadow, so those are the two main things I've been working on. Yesterday, I sent like a full 8 hours of Tob, just trying to get that. I recently got the Ultor ring like 2 days ago, so I actually finished max strength. That's my first time ever getting max strength on a hardcore. Obviously, I don't have the Scythe, but like that's just a weapon, you know. Like
Yeah, yeah. You got the
Nox,
hilt at least. It's kind of max strength.
yeah. Nox Alley has higher strength bonus than Scythe, so it just will
Oh
that.
yeah, true. I guess weapon really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
With the
what is the
I have
highest?
the
Is the
blade.
highest strength weapon still Elder Maul, or what would it be actually? Like how can you
I
possibly get the highest? Is there anything higher than Elder
I
Maul?
think it I think it might be Nox Alley, I'm not gonna lie.
What? More than Elder Maul?
Let me see. Elder. I'm looking this
No, I'm
up. We
curious.
must know. We must know. So an Elder Maul has 147. Nox Alley has 142. No, it is Elder Maul.
Okay.
Damn. High
Yeah, I
five.
mean, Noxious Alley is 5 tick though. Elder Maul is 6 tick, so Noxious Alley's
True.
clearly way fucking better. But
Yeah.
damn, yeah,
No, but I have the Blade of Saldor, you know, with the Avernic. Max strength. We'll call it max strength.
yeah.
With
I'll
the
grant
full
you that.
total.
Uh,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Wait, so grinding, trying to get the scythe. It sounds like right now is it sort of the plan?
Mainly Top, because that's just the raid that I feel like I can do all day and I won't get bored of it. And then there's TOA where I, I don't know. I need Shadow and the Masori Mask from there, so I'll be going there whenever I don't have a top team. But dude, honestly, when I go to TOA, like I do 2 raids and then I like just look for excuses to like not do
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
man.
relate in that regard. Like Jesus, I do remember. I'm not like the biggest. I don't even know how to describe it because I've done a shit ton of PVM. I mean, Sae Bae's pimped out to the gourd, but I feel like I never really enjoyed Toa ever. I don't feel like there was a day where,
Yeah,
but with Chambers, I got super addicted to solos. Like I would just lock in, and then Tob, even 416 free for alls. I would degen that shit. I'd go for like 10 hours just with
bro.
416 4-mans, and I would just be loving my life. And this was like pre scythe and everything. I was just a total noob, so it was. I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I enjoyed that.
I love Tob. Tob is my favorite for sure. And then Solo Chambers is like right there up with it,
Yeah.
like it says. But it has to be a solo. Like I don't know why. Just like
Same.
I don't enjoy the team raids as much. It's just like you're just running the head, you know, like just moving back and
Yeah.
forth between two tiles, and it gets like stale, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. It's unfortunate because in my view, Chambers, it's all about Ulm. Like the rest of the rooms are kind of just filler. I don't really care.
Yeah,
Just give me to Ulm.
agree.
And so if the best part of the raid is Ulm, and then you're gonna bring people along, so it just waters it down and just makes it boring as hell. Like, what's the point? You know?
Yeah.
That's sort of how I felt about getting my first Tebow and then going to Zulrah because everyone was like, dude, you can just Tebow Zulrah now. And I'm like, really? So I got a Tebow and I ended up going to Zulrah and I just fucking hated Zulrah after that because
That
it just
shit
became
is
so boring.
boring. You're
Yeah.
literally just sitting there shooting the team. Yeah, I literally. I recently did some Sora for scales and stuff, and I would just T-bow it at first, but then I started bringing mage switches because
Yeah.
honestly, it is better with the eye and stuff. But it's
Oh yeah.
just so much funner. Like switching gears, like yeah, I like bosses that require you to switch a lot of gear, and Olm has that. Where like especially P3, where you get to it, and let's say you have a trident, you're doing 4-0 with your
Yes.
trident and your lance. Nowadays, I'm just using eyes, so I don't really do that as much. Even though you can, but you just lose some ticks. But
Yeah, yeah. What does that feel like actually? Because I to this day have not used even a 5-tick weapon at Olm hand, and I've seen the pattern with it. It looks interesting and it looks a little bit more complex. Don't feel like it has the same rhythm, but how is the eye there?
the eye is pretty fun. It's basically the same thing as Trident, except you're doing 4-0 instead of 3-0. And you're
Okay,
hitting like there's two different methods with it, but the one that I do is you just do 3 regular hits. One is the drag hit, of course, and then that fourth hit is like you put it on long range and
that
like
makes
stand
sense.
in the middle tile of the hand. But I've done Shadow Ohm too. It's kind of fun. Shadow Ohm is pretty fun too.
Mm.
But I don't know. Nothing beats like 4-0 with like Trident and like a 4-tick
Oh
weapon
yeah, that shit's clean.
on P3. Yeah, and like you're getting like the 7-way switch and switching to Augury and Piety. Like that's just man, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. Okay. Circling back to you actually getting the Zuck helm on the hardcore, at least what I recall, maybe it was some Reddit post or something, but it said your last task was the task that you ended up dying to on one of your other hardcores. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's the account that I had like ACAs away and got it the next day. I died to reinforcements. It was I so at the time this was like Coliseum was still pretty new, probably like 2 months old, 3 months old at the time, and I get to like wave 9 or something. I forget the wave, and the choices are like Beast 3, Red Flag, and like I forget the third one, but it was like the worst choices ever. And I was like, oh, a third B, that's totally fine, you know. And I chose B3.
No.
And so at the time, I didn't know that what that does is not only does it bring a third B, but the max hit from the Bs goes from 10 to 20.
Jeez.
So I just stood in the B, like you know how they have that weird pathing, and like I hit it with the shadow, so the shadow hit is like delayed. And any other weapon would have killed
Uh,
the bees to where like I wouldn't have died. So I like also I wasn't as like ready for it honestly in a way. Like I should have practiced more. I should have like stood all the way in the back of the room instead of like in the front where I was. And so I hit it. I run away because I see it coming towards me, and it also goes away. So we like I go under it, and I just get ticked for like 20s every tick and die in like 4 ticks or something.
that
And yeah,
is devastating, dude.
like the stars align for that death. Like the shadow hit is delayed, so like it died 1 tick later. I ran into it. Freaking I was close to it instead of standing all the way in the far back of the room. Like that was just meant to be, meant to be. There was a lot of B puns at the time when that happened.
Dude, I actually wish the shadow didn't have that extra delay. It's always I've always not enjoyed the fact that I mean it looks kind of cool shooting out and it's kind of slow-mo a little bit, but dear God, in practicality, I hate it. And I feel like I always have to
Yeah.
do an extra hit on stuff. And I'm like, dude, this is at least when you do an extra hit, it kind of dies a tick sooner, which is interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't
The
know. I'm not I wish that shadow would just beam. I wish it was just like a fast fucking just
the
a
overkill.
way faster attack. Yeah, but okay, so there's obviously so many branches we can go down because I do want to get your thoughts on CAs, for example, kind of like your overall view of how they should be done. Because I feel like anybody that has gotten a Zuck helm usually will have some critiques on the way there of like what to scrap, it's like tasks that are just why is this even on here, and then maybe
Yeah.
rewards or whatever else. So let me get your full take on CAs as a system in this game. Had you always been somebody that thought a system like this would be healthy for the game, and what gripes do you have with the current system?
So CAs, I like them, of course. You know they're fun. They get players to push into new things or getting into new PVM or whatnot, trying to get that next tier or whatever. So as a whole, I think they're healthy for the game. But there are certain tasks that like are unnecessary or like counterintuitive in a way. Like for example, let me see, like perfect theater, right? Perfect theater, like in bloat room, for example, you can't take any flies. You can't take any stomps, right? So you have to play like how you normally wouldn't play. Obviously, on a hardcore, you're not trying to do that anyway. But I'm just talking about in general, like as a main or something. So it doesn't really teach you like how to like do the rooms correctly, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
not correctly, but
Efficiently. Like
efficiently,
it's
right?
forcing you to do a shitty way, and it's like, what is
Right.
this teaching, really?
And like you have to like kill all the maidens, the crabs and maidens, instead of like leaving the ones that are low HP to just go in because it's better DPS to just get a hit on maiden instead of hitting the crab or whatever. But I mean, as far as like a whole of CAs, I think they are good. I enjoy them. The hardest CA for me, honestly, on the hardcore, I don't even know. Maybe the awakened bosses. Those are tough for sure. But
Yeah.
honestly, I did it in 6 orbs, and Leviathan took 3.
Damn. How much practice on
So,
the main?
oh, 100. I had like 100 bard kills, and like this is like throughout the years. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's like the one that I did the most. Leviathan, I probably did like 70 times, and then the other two like 30 maybe.
Did you have any
Um,
close calls with any CA or any chances with any CAs?
I got 1 HP on the Yama speedrun. Literally like not that long ago. On the Yama speedrun, I got 1 HP. I literally so you're supposed to like venge Yama hits and stuff.
Yeah.
So I do that. And then like the very next hit after that, I wasn't paying attention and I didn't pray it, and it was like a range flick. And I went from like 20 something to literally 1 HP. So that was
Holy
insane.
shit. What was his max
Yeah.
hit? Like, was it a huge chance, or was that like?
I don't think so. So it was the range auto, not like the special, you
Mm,
know.
yeah, yeah,
So I have no idea what the max hit of that is, but I'm just gonna cope and say that I did get hit the max.
yeah, yeah. There we go. Dang.
Nah, yeah.
What
It was
about
like a 20 something.
what about the? I mean, I feel like one of the tasks again earlier on, one of the really daunting ones was the Hydra one with the Darok sacks. Did you have any fear for that task at all?
So I had done that one before already, so I was a little bit more confident this time. But the first time around that I did that, I thought that I was gonna plank. Honestly, the lightning phase is the scariest thing because it's unpredictable in the sense of like the lightning could just one tap you, and like there's no real way. I don't obviously like doing that corner trap stuff, but that's just too much of a DPS loss.
Yeah.
That's like when you're ranging and stuff. There's no real way to like know where the lightning's gonna spawn exactly and like how to like avoid it fully. But I just do this thing where I just like run into the all the way to the, I think it's the north. I don't know, whatever side that is, like and then I just run across the wall all the way around.
Hmm.
But that task is terrifying for sure. But this time around, since I had already done it, it wasn't as scary.
By the way, why is that lightning so glitchy? Why can't it just be like the tornadoes or anything else that you
It's
can kind of wooks walk?
I have no idea. It's like the bees, man. It's like the bees. They're just unpredictable.
Yeah, it's
Like that's another CA actually. Now that we're going back to the last topic, like why I don't understand why that even is an invocation in the first place. Like
yeah, it's so
honestly,
bad.
like I don't even know who designed it, but that was probably one of the shittier invocations in TO. And also invocations in general, I feel like should never be a thing in this game again. In
Yeah,
my humble opinion, I
I
feel like
agree.
I feel like it's just like PVM should just be this boss has these mechanics and that's it. You know, like you don't have to choose an invocation. And at least with TOA, you get to choose before you go in. Whereas Coliseum, it's RNG invocations,
Yeah,
which make it that much worse, in my opinion. But Coliseum is great content, you know, and I like it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe some invocations could have had like a buff instead of a debuff or something. I don't know. Like not everything had to be a debuff.
yeah. No, I'm with
But
you. I feel like that is definitely a much more fun approach. Is like pumping up your numbers, like giving yourself like 10% more
yeah,
damage and stuff, and then making the next wave really difficult. But it feels like you're just
yep.
smacking.
Or if you take like if you do 10% more damage, like you get the like relentless per se, where your defense is 33% less or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Like
Some
something like that
trade-offs.
would have been really cool. Because like you don't. It's not fun to get debuffed. Like like nowadays you have search bar, you have double depth charge, you're just specking all the time. Like that's something that's like fun to do. Like just using specs and big DPS, big number, big hit. That's what you like to see. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I mean, this is the silly example, but like Huey, when you're killing that guy, his tail phase in the middle of the room where you're running back and forth between the tails, like why are you nerfed in damage? Like what was the design
Yeah.
choice behind that? Why not have upped it? Why not double your damage there so it feels like a dopamine hit to like do the tail phase? Instead they
Yeah,
just
just give it more HP.
yeah, they just like made it so dumb where it just you feel so weak. You just feel like a
Yeah.
wimp all of a sudden. And it's like, all right, what's the point of this?
Now that you mentioned Huey, though, it is pretty cool. Like when you charge the pillars though, and you get like new max hits or whatever.
Yes.
Like I don't know
Yes.
the exact percentages or whatever, but you do get like more max hits, so that you want to save your spec until then, and then you're hitting like 100 claws and stuff like that. Like if you're on a Slayer task,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool.
Super. I mean, Huey, if you have a competent team going on and you're always having the pillars up, that shit's fun. I feel like I was always just doing solo Huey because I'm like, what's the point of it really felt like there was barely a point of like I think the time save of having a team and then every 3 fights you have to like take a bathroom break or something. I'm like, I'm just gonna solo this
Literally,
and
yeah.
it's gonna end up being faster. What are your what are your thoughts on rewards for CAs? Like, do you think they're in a good place? Would you want to see them buffed, or would you want to see them even nerfed? I know there's controversy behind
No,
that.
no. The rewards, they could definitely use a bit of a buffing. Especially like GM now, you don't even get the 2x time on thralls now. That's from like master CAs now. So I don't know. I feel like they could do something with GM CAs where like obviously it is kind of biased at this point, but I mean even before I got the GM on the hardcore, I had GM on the other account, so um they could like I don't know give you some sort of buff to I don't know Slayer in general, I guess, because that's where it's mainly used. But
Well,
I guess they did do the imbued heart like with elite CAs. That was really cool. Or the superiors rather, not the imbued heart specifically. But maybe certain drops that are Slayer only. You like nothing big, but like I don't know, stupid shit. Like actually no, that wouldn't make sense. Like I was gonna say like Iranian bits and shit, but those are kind of
mm.
irrelevant at this point.
What do you think about this? This was a suggestion I had a few years ago for GM, was doubling the weighting of boss tasks from Slayer, and it's in like an opt-in, opt-out, so you can choose to do that or not. If you want to just be efficient and barrage your smoke devils, whatever. But I feel like most people that do have Zuckhelm would love an excuse to do double the boss tasks they get assigned, even though it's still random. It like just getting it more often. Because it already has the perk of adding on, because you get to kill like 65 or something at
Yeah.
GM. And I was just thinking, man, it'd be kind of sick, honestly, to have the option of like doubling that weighting. Do you have any thoughts on that? Does that even matter to you? I feel like,
That would be sick,
yeah,
honestly. I like doing boss tasks. Like especially like I don't know, like a Vard task or something. Vard is like one of my
yes.
favorite bosses. I actually got one during my Slayer grind, so that was pretty cool. And I was like using slaughters and everything, like wishing the task would never end. So that was awesome. That is actually a good suggestion. I would totally be for that.
That'd just be
Maybe
sick.
like
Yeah.
maybe like a 3x thrall as well. Since now the master has 2x. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, I
I
mean,
don't feel like that.
they nerfed, I mean, it made sense why they nerfed the thralls, because whenever everybody lost their Zuckhelms, in order to get it back, they now had to deal with 90-second thralls, and it's just like,
Yeah.
this sucks. So
I think
I
they
get it.
completely scrapped 90 seconds. No, like it doesn't even.
Yeah, they scrapped it entirely. I wish they had
Yeah.
actually made it so elite you get the 90-second, and then master it's,
I
yeah.
yeah, that actually sounds like a. They should do that. They should do a 90 on Elite, 2x on GM or Master, and like maybe not even a 3x, a 2.5x on GM. Because at the end of the day, all you have to do is like summon another Thrall. It's not even a big deal, like 5 blood
Hmm.
runs or whatever. thralls are just so OP too.
Yeah.
They've really changed PVM as a whole. Like the RC spellbook in general, because Death Charge now with the double from Yama, that's just
Yes.
disgusting.
It is disgusting.
It's like it's so much fun though. I love specking and the surge pods and stuff. Like I was mentioning, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just yeah.
I mean,
It creates a lot more ambiguity.
if they were to do any buffs, I think they did the right buffs, because you don't want a buff that's just more damage. Why not have it through your special attack where it actually feels engaging to use? So I think
I agree.
they did the right thing. I'm curious if they're gonna, this is something I was talking to, I think, Trey about on like one of the Say More episodes, but just the idea of a Lunar upgrade. So like Vengeance would get, I suggested, that I'm not saying this would, I don't know what the balancing behind this, but I was thinking like, what if there was a new upgrade to the Vengeance spell? It was like Burning Vengeance. So maybe it's only for NPCs potentially. I mean, maybe it could be utilized in PvP. I don't know, because I think one of his gripes with it potentially was maybe like abusing it with Moon's armor might be too OP if it's like the same burning effect. But having some sort of extra Vengeance would allow you to kind of like feel a little bit better about using the Lunar spellbook. But I don't know how I feel about it, because it feels like Lunar's, besides Spellbook swap, which is super OP, which I would argue could be added to all the spellbooks potentially. I mean, there could be some maybe downsides to that, but I actually wouldn't mind like a Spellbook swap on every single spellbook, like that option. But it feels like Lunar's really just has that and Vengeance in PVM, and maybe I guess Cure Me if you're like a newbie Iron Man.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually when I like start Zora, I like since I like high alch like all throughout my accounts. Like you find me at like Perilous Moons, for example. I saw of the Reddit post of me getting GM recently, and one person commented like, "Oh, this guy, I was watching him, and he was like alching in between hits at Perilous Moons and stuff, and it made me crack up." I do get that sweaty with it, but I like to do Venge, Cure Me, Spellbook Swap Thralls when I start Zora, so I get really sweaty with it. It's super fun. Spellbook Swap is awesome for sure. Like now, like if you're not spellbook swapping at top, like you're trolling at this point. Like the people bring Venge, spellbook swap, Thrall, Death Charge, all that stuff. So like it's crazy.
It would be.
Yeah.
Well,
I obviously just don't even bring it because it's just hardcore and more MV space. But
yeah. But your team, I mean, if you're a main account, I feel like there's so much more pressure for main accounts to like do all the tech. Where Iron Man, you're like kind of pick and choose. Like you're an Iron, fuck it.
Yeah, just use that excuse,
Yeah, exactly. Would you be opposed? Like, let me hear if there's any like potential downsides. Like, what if every spellbook did have that level 96 spell that could allow you to spellbook swap? It's like the same rune cost and everything. Like, is that what are potential downsides? I know I'm just throwing this question at you, so I don't know if you've thought about it at all, but would that be potentially game breaking? I feel like if it's on one spellbook and it's not game breaking, I mean, you could argue it's game breaking, but like we all do it. I feel like you could add it to any of them and it would then be fine.
Yeah, honestly, no, it could be added to any of them. At this point in time, like, people are freaking, even if you're mating at top, people bring Spellbook Swap for every single barrage they do, and, like, mating and stuff for max F tops. I've watched that, I'm like, what the fuck, like, it's just insane. So I don't think it would be game breaking. I'd be for it. The only thing I can think of is, like, it'd be kind of OP if you're, like, breeding in PvP, so maybe I don't know, like, you're putting in PvP and you randomly Spellbook Swap and you have, like, Venge Sex and you're and you Venge someone. But I mean, that's just skill at the end of the day. You gotta know when to time the Venge, and if you Spellbook Swap, you can't cast a barrage anymore, and you're like waiting to cast this Venge for when someone specs. So it could, honestly, in most scenarios, that wouldn't even be too helpful. So yeah, I'd be for it. Honestly, I wouldn't mind Spellbook Swap on every spellbook.
And plus, if you were to spellbook swap like repeatedly in a PvP thing, I feel like there'd be a way to abuse that stall and stack somebody out with like a Gmaul as they're waiting that like 3 tick stall, and like so there'd almost be counterplay potentially if you're really good at noticing it.
Because you see the animation and you just go for the spec, they can't do anything. Just forced to tank whatever you do.
Yeah,
I'd be down for that.
That'd be interesting. And plus it's a level 96, so if anybody out there is listening to this and thinking, oh well, that's broken because you could then just switch spells whenever you want, you also have to consider the runes that are in your inventory. So this is taking up so much space. If you want to just spellbook swap all the time, one, you already basically have to get to 99 magic. Getting 96 is obviously a huge thing. And then you have to carry all the runes that are required. So it's not just completely free, for those that are imagining you could just spellbook swap whenever with the same conveniences you have now. There would be added inconveniences like the inventory space and whatnot. So
yeah, I think people, I haven't done this myself, but people nowadays, they like go and barrage Abbey Demons and they spellbook swap for it, and they like use the RCS spell for the ashes and stuff. Like that's just insane to me.
That's badass. Yeah.
That's literally crazy.
The game has gotten so wild when it comes to efficiency. I mean, when you look back, when did you start old school?
I mean, I've been playing RuneScape since 2005. Old school, day of release.
Okay, yeah, so you're a total veteran.
Yeah.
The game, just when we're just considering old school in the last 13 years, the game has evolved so drastically. There was a time when like efficient Slayer was like 25k XP an hour. And now the fact that you can do, not only can you do like barraging Necreals, which is just an insane amount of Slayer XP per hour, but then on top of that, you can like spellbook swap and get like insane prayer XP on top. Like this would be, if they were to have seen like through a crystal ball back 13 years ago, just seeing what the game's going to be in like a decade, it would have lost their shit.
Honestly, I used to be very like how do you say it, like against changing the game because I was just so afraid of like it becoming EOC again. In a way, because like obviously we used to play back in the day, everybody quit when EOC happened, at least I did.
Yep.
And like I just didn't want the game to go down the same path, but I think JMods have been understanding that, and they've really been getting like really good with the way the game has been going, in my opinion. I don't know. They've like they really like are aging like fine wine, So shout out to Jagex. They're getting it down for sure.
The cool thing is I feel like they are really leaning into what they are succeeding at. So PVM is definitely the core identity of this game for a lot of people now, it feels like. I mean, I don't know about identity, maybe that's the wrong word, but like so many people are just PVMers at heart. They just want to kill shit in this game. And Jagex has designed a game over the last 7 years that has just progressively gotten more and more PVM focused, which ends up being the most enjoyable content in this game for most people. And it's just like a feedback loop. The more people get into it, the more there's a demand for higher quality PVM content. And I feel like that is sort of what is shaping the golden age, quote unquote, of this game. And I'm here for it. I'm kind of a skiller, and I feel like I could say the same about you.
I actually enjoy skilling. Dude, honestly, recently I tried deep sea trawling. I don't know if you've done any of that.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy that, bro. Like I'm over here excited to like run out of halibut to like go get more. Like recently I like was using those for my bard grind, and I would run out and like I would be excited to go out there and like do an hour and see how many I got. Like I remember the most recent hour I did, I got like 900 of them. I even went out of my way and I got the ray barbs for like the best trawling nets.
Yeah.
And like I did that through port tasks because I like just wanted XP as well. So like I could have just camped the manta rays off task, but I went and did port tasks and like purposely got the manta ray task and like learned how to go to like 2 different ports and get like the fin and the tail tasks, and then like I don't know skilling. I enjoy skilling, honestly. Like when you're in that rhythm, it's sort of like a flow state. It's like how do I say this or word this properly? I feel like I don't know, like it's just a nice break from PVMing and stuff sometimes.
Yeah, especially when the PVM that you're doing is high stakes. I mean, everything you're working toward is high stakes. It's all the CAs that you got to do. Like those things are not free. You got to buckle down and like really fucking lock in for those. And so that I feel like, yeah, that freedom of just relaxing and being able to lock in with some XP is Cool. Do you,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how to like. I don't know. Like, I can't not one tick flick anything nowadays because like I have my crystal in 2 seconds all the time. So it's like if I literally even sit back for a second, like I'm just getting yeeted out of wherever. It's so annoying, honestly.
I need to ask because yesterday I sent the very rare stream that I do, and it was me at fucking Black Knight's fortress trying to do this goddamn quest, and these Black Knights kept just attacking me, like kept aggroing me. So I like hid in this corner and I hopped worlds. And as soon as I hopped, of course, a guy starts attacking me and I get insta-tellied with the crystal. I'm like, fuck this. How many times do you feel like you use that teleport on your hardcore by God GM? Like, do you have any guess on how many times that was activated, either by you or automatically?
Bro, honestly,
Like how much do you think you spent?
at least 30 mil easily. Like,
Holy shit.
easily, bro. It's fucking yeah. Like just like not, and most of them are not even activated by me. Like they're just like falling asleep at the wheel, you know, like just not paying attention for 2 seconds and that's it. You're yeeted out of wherever. And like sometimes it's like minus 20 minutes in a TOA or whatever.
Oh,
it may
that's
be.
so tilting.
But it has saved me. Like I can remember one specific instance where I DC'd P3 of CG and I thought I was dead and like I just came back and was good. So it is a very good item. My account would probably be dead without it, and many other people for sure. So it's an amazing update. Shout out to Jagex for that one. Like for example, my very first hardcore, I spoke about it earlier, but I DC'd in Bloat with Mookie Wookie and like another homie of mine, Pause, and like I literally DC'd as I walked in, so you just see my character just hitting Bloat, and like even when it like stomps and runs away, I'm just there like hitting him. And this was like 5 years ago when the crystal didn't tell you, so like that would have saved that account. You know what I'm saying? Like it's such a good item. There's actually a clip of it from Mookie's perspective because I was streaming at the time, but I like that was my net at the time, so my whole stream DC'd and everything. But he was on his main bullseye, and yeah, he recorded it. So there's like a clip to this day of that.
Is it just a clip of you standing there, just auto attacking Bloat until you die? It's so depressing, dude.
Yep, and they're like trying to just like chally and everything just to like kill Bloat, but honestly, we're not gonna one down Bloat, you know.
Fuck, man.
It was crazy. As soon as I walked into the room too, like I would have DC'd like 2 seconds earlier, I would have just been outside. It was the timing for that was crazy, honestly.
The thing is you look back now and you can kind of laugh it off. I mean, the same thing with Mutz's death.
100%.
I mean, Mutz's like Arma death is just iconic. It's still drilled into my brain of him dying to Arma minions. But yeah, I feel like all of these little, I mean, this wasn't even a mistake. It was just your internet going off. So the crystal really has made a more even playing field, I would say. And it's actually allowed for some insane achievements, because I am positive that Mutz has probably had, I don't know, 50 or 100. I have no idea. I'm just throwing out a number of times where the crystal has saved him. I don't actually know if that 100%. Happens often for him, but I'm sure it's yeah.
Yeah, probably not like super often, but he's yeah, for sure he's like had a DC or something that where the crystal saved him. I remember one where he had Invocations, and he was doing that not too long ago before starting the GMs. But yeah, the crystal is an amazing item. I don't know why Jagex didn't make it earlier, but I mean, I don't know how hard that is to develop or whatever. So shout out to them.
Do you ever use a secondary account to teleport you out at all? I know the crystal has those capabilities. I don't know if like anybody ever uses it.
Nah, honestly, bro, I just keep it off because I get trolled. Like, if I keep that thing on, like, there was one time where, like, I stepped out of top and I got tellied into Lumbridge, and then there was, like, 3 people waiting at Lumbridge, and they just spam tellied on me, and they used, like, 10 of my crystals, and it's just, honestly, at this point, I just keep that shit off. Yeah. I feel like the 2 seconds is, in most cases, will save you. Like, the only thing that you can still die to is, like, a Vorkath bomb or a Duke Eye or something like that, you know?
Yeah. I think
but that's just...
So somebody said you could still die at CG because the crystal doesn't start the timer until after you've stopped moving. Is that correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I think like let me like if I'm
I guess if
at
you're
the
always
corner of
moving
CG,
far, if you're always moving at
yeah,
least like 5 tiles, then
I haven't tested that
or maybe 6 tiles.
to be honest.
Yeah, I don't
But
know what
let's
it would be.
say let's say you move from one corner to the other in CG and like you stop moving completely. I feel like as soon as you take damage, if it's been past the 2 seconds, you should get teleed. If not, then that's something that they should look into changing.
No, that is true. If you were to just move corner to corner, you'd be safe with that. But I wonder with if you were to make a little bit more like precise moves and like in that very moment of all those little precise moves around your character, that's when you get DC. That I'm pretty sure that would be like an insta death potentially.
Yeah,
Maybe
if
I don't know.
the nados are out,
Tornadoes go
you walk into like the floor and it could go real bad real quick.
because there's
But
no
yeah,
ring of life effect in CG, right?
no, even if you're wearing it outside, it won't work. That doesn't.
Why doesn't that work? Is there any reason? Was it just to artificially make it more dangerous?
I guess just because you can't bring a ring of life into CG, it just I don't know. Since you
Oh,
can't bring any items in,
yeah. If you can't bring anything, then the crystal. I mean, because you can bring the crystal, right? But you just can't. Wait, can you even bring
no,
the crystal?
no, it stays out. It stays like it doesn't show in CG at all, not on you or in your inventory.
Oh, but it still has the effect.
Correct. Even
What
if
the
it's
fuck?
in your
That's so
inventory,
weird. Okay, that's some
which
weird
is dope
ass.
to be honest.
No,
How
it
they
is
made that
cool.
work.
It is definitely cool. I'm just surprised that if they're including that, they wouldn't just include a ring of life. But I guess if they want to keep it dangerous, I feel like there's some things where the convenience of it would end up making the game mode easier. Like, let me get your take on Chambers. Chambers, I feel like we have just stopped the conversation entirely because just way too much time has passed. But like Chambers being completely safe for hardcores forever is just very bizarre to me. Do you have
Yeah.
any thoughts on that? Like, are you just cool with that always being the case for normal hardcores going forward?
So this is my take on it, and people ask me this all the time. Why isn't Chambers a dangerous death? I feel like back when hardcore first started, I think Chambers was fairly new, and Chambers is a safe death not only for regular hardcore, but for any account in general. Like when you die, you don't have to pay a fee, you don't lose your items, you just spawn and you lose some points, and that's it. So I feel like since it came out so long ago and they didn't know what to do with it back then in terms of that, they just made it safe for hardcore because everybody else has a safe death in Chambers as well. I think that it would be cool to make it a dangerous death for hardcore, but it's one of those things where like it's been so long that I feel like they can't change it at this point because um like all the people that did do it safe, or like for example, I have GM and I already got the CAs there. Like it wouldn't be fair for me to have done it safe and then somebody now has to go and do it dangerous. Although if they were to change it to a dangerous death, I wouldn't be upset.
Mm,
So yeah, but I know a lot of players would.
yeah, and you
But I
wouldn't
feel
be
like
upset.
at this
You
point,
got your Zuck helm. You're good.
yeah. I mean, I still have items to grind from there and stuff,
Yeah,
but like, it's also nice for like when the servers are shit to go to have somewhere to go and like be able
yeah.
to grind
Make
those.
legitimate
'Cause
progress.
there's so many items there that like it takes an insane amount of time to green log.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have like 7 out of 12, and I have like I don't know 20 million points, 22 million.
Damn. Yeah, that place is insane. If you have listened to the cast, so I'm sure you've heard my take on Chambers drop rates. I still feel like I don't know why I'm saying still. They've not really changed, but they're just really, really out of whack. I feel like that just the sheer amount of
100%.
hours you need to put in. Like I feel genuinely like that could be halved, and it would be in a much healthier spot where Chambers is not this. And seriously, Chambers feels like an endless grind. It feels like no
100%.
accounts ever actually finish the fucking place. It's just like this perpetual, like, well, I got to go back to Chambers. Like, and I understand maybe that's
Yeah.
the point, but dear God, like, it's way too many hours.
And now there's like less items too, because there used to be the the dragon sword and the throwing axes, and I'm glad they took that off the table because
Yeah.
that would just add to your grind even more. But so I feel like something they could do with that is maybe like how like in hard mode the Avernic is less common in POA experts, the Fang and the Liper get less common as you go up Invo. In CM, the prayer scrolls should be less common, in my opinion. That's something that they could. That's a start. Like they don't have to change the drop rates at all. Just to make the prayer scrolls when you do challenge mode drop at a less rate and make the other uniques,
Yeah.
more common.
Yeah, that's been a suggestion that's come up, and I'm with that. Okay, here, this is coming to my mind right now, so this could be a horrible idea, but just I want to hear your take. What if they were to make challenge mode? So they'd have to bring some other changes similar to the one you just suggested of like actually making the rewards better, like making it more motivating. But what if CMs was the mode that became dangerous? So you still had your classic chambers that you could do,
Ooh.
but then CMs became more dangerous, but they also became more lucrative. So they maybe they
That would
even
be pretty prestigious.
yeah, maybe they even give you like a 10k point bonus now because it's dangerous as well. And maybe they could even charge even non-hardcores a fee if they do die, something that's a little bit like stakes are higher, you get more rewarded,
Okay.
but you could still do the normal chambers for the hardcores that are like complaining that they don't want to make chambers
Honestly,
dangerous.
that does sound like a good middle ground. I would be for that for sure. Damn, I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, like you said, like normal accounts, just you get a death fee, and maybe you just like you die once you wipe, like Tob,
Yeah,
or
could
I
be.
don't know. Maybe like when you're doing rooms, it would be weird because like in Tob you have to like go through a portal to start the room, but
Mhm.
maybe when you're like if you're in a team chambers and like you die, you stay out, but your team if they finish it, you respawn and keep going.
Yeah,
Right,
they
so.
they could even make it so, because I'm trying to think, is there any situation really in chambers where you're trying to suicide? Like, I don't think there's any place where you're doing that to like time save or anything. It's just
Well, yeah. So Ohm nowadays with Surge Pot, if you die, it resets the surge timer, so you can like in the speed,
oh,
like
so right as
during
the
the crystals
crystals. Yeah.
falling. Yeah, you go and like die on purpose, and then you can Surge Pot again. That's
Okay.
for like speeds and stuff. I have seen
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so just simply the fact that that exists already puts some complication in this because
Yeah.
well, you know what they actually could do is they could just say there could just be a check on the board that says, do you want this to be a dangerous one? And if you do dangerous, then you get
You
like
get
an
extra
extra
10K points.
yeah, extra 10k points. So like if you really just wanted to go the risky route on your hardcore, I feel like most people would now that I think about it, it almost feels like if it's ever an option at all, it just will
Nobody
never
would
be
ever choose
checked.
it.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, even myself, I wouldn't. Because why the hell
Yeah,
would I,
why the
right?
fuck would you do yeah, but
Unless you literally make your account with the whole purpose of doing that like as a series or something for content, then
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I guess in my head the best solution I can think of right now that sort of goes in a way that doesn't feel like a detriment necessarily is to maybe make chambers dangerous across the board, but have it so on that same update, they also make the drop rates way more in line with other pieces of content. So like just truly like raising the purple rate, you're getting more purples per hour, but we're just making this huge ass change where chambers is now dangerous. And maybe they could even say it's an integrity change. Again, I'm not necessarily advocating for this. I'm saying if we decided as a community that okay, PVM should be dangerous for hardcores, and that includes chambers. I know we're a decade late on it, but if we're going to change it, let's change it now. But with this change of making it dangerous, we're also going to make the purples more common. Maybe even, maybe not double the rate, so you're getting double purples, but maybe just 50% more. So it's like it's cutting the time by 25%, but alongside those changes, it's also dangerous. So hardcores need to be a little bit more prepared before going in, and like the teleport crystal could work and everything else could work and your ring of life could work as well, but the place becomes actually dangerous. I don't know.
Honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to that. That would be a good change. Chambers, bro, like there's people who grind for Tebow for years and they don't get it. So like
Yeah.
that is one of those grinds where like that wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, like I said, like I gave my opinion earlier. So I feel like this is what I feel like how Jagex thinks. They probably think like it's been so long we can't change it at this point
Mm-hmm.
due to like I don't know. people having already done it safe and completing it, and the CAs and ranks in general, like high score ranks, you know, the like
Yeah.
the rank 1 and stuff are probably solidified at that point unless they die somewhere else. But I wouldn't be upset if they did, like, tomorrow I wake up and Chambers is a dangerous stuff and the drop rates are better. Like, I would honestly, I think it'd be pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah, especially I feel like the best way they could handle it as a company as well is to just sort of doing it overnight and just say it's an integrity change. So like there is just no debate over it. It's just they are forcing it into the game and we have to just sort of accept it. But alongside of it, they're also pumping up the purple rate, so it just feels more fair as well. I feel like that would be, in my view, again, I guess in my view, it's not really fair because I'm kind of the one proposing this. So maybe there's some people that are actively just absolutely against this and would hate this. But I really do feel like it would be a positive change to the game going forward, especially if you're imagining this game living on for another 20 years. Why would we not rip the Band-Aid off as soon as we can about this whole Chambers debacle? Like, the fact that it's not dangerous is so silly for a end game raid that is the raid that takes the most amount of hours too, and it's just fully safe. It's
yeah
bizarre.
no that yeah, I wouldn't be upset. I'd honestly, yeah, I'd be for it. And like if there was a poll, obviously you said integrity, it wouldn't pass, but if there was a poll, like, I'd probably vote yes.
Yeah, I probably would too. I'd be interested if they were to
It
just gauge
definitely
that.
wouldn't pass though.
Yeah, I feel like
Maybe they could just
yeah.
throw it out as a question and like people give their opinion as
Yeah,
like a whole, because obviously they've had it over the years, but maybe like a whole discussion would be, I don't know, better, and people give their points and whatnot.
mm-hmm. Okay, we got to touch on Raids 4. So Raids 4 is most likely coming out this year. That's what the plan is. So super exciting. They sent out a blog like a week ago talking about their thoughts on Raids 4 rewards, and it very much sounds, I'm pretty sure this is confirmed entirely, 100% confirmed, is the fact that there's not going to be any invocations or modifiers in this raid, which is just beautiful.
Thank God.
Yeah, which is really nice. And it sounds like there's going to be like a hard mode and also like a practice version later on release, but we're going to get like the just one set raid on release, which sounds very exciting because it feels like there could be a race to world first that doesn't just last 20 minutes, which could also be cool. So what do you...
I remember the top race, bro. It took like days, no? It took like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I think so.
If I remember correctly. And it was, yeah, I'm pretty sure. And like same for Inferno. Like those were honestly awesome times to like watch, like going back and forth between streams, like who's at Verzik at this time, and like just watching them trying to see and complete it. So that I hope, I mean, with nowadays how good people are, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna take as long. But I hope at least it takes some hours to complete. You know, maybe like 10 hours or something. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see. And it would actually be cool if they could make it so there's a race for all team sizes. I think it goes up to, is it 8 people or 6 people? 8 people? What was it again?
I think they said 8, yeah.
Okay, so it is 8.
Same as Toa.
Imagine they had a world first for like 8 man all the way down to 1 man. So there was still a race going on, not just the first raid completion, but all the team sizes. Because I'm pretty sure a solo would be damn difficult.
It's gonna be like scaled up to at least 2, so solo would be be tough. Maybe there's some mechanics where like it requires you to have 2 people. If not, it makes it really, really difficult. Like, I don't know, you have to stand in certain tiles each. If not, you like your teammate takes a bunch of damage or something. That's gonna be scary, honestly, for hardcore. Like putting full trust into your account.
Yes.
But I mean, that's already in top, like Sodaseg ball and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
You can eat that, of course, but So there's like times where I'm like 121 HP, so there's nothing I can do, and I just full trust on my team.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask, like, do you tick eat it every time? But I guess if you're already 121, there's just no saving you.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Like if I have full trust in my team, like yesterday I was doing top, and I was at like, I think I was at like 116. I was like, do I really want to eat this angler to waste 5 HP? And I was like, no. And I just like, I trust them.
Yeah. And I feel like you'd be able to. Actually, no, you wouldn't. If they're coordinated tick perfect, I guess technically it could all go to shit. Because If you're in a 5-man top, right, and you take the ball all alone, that's a guaranteed death, correct?
Yeah.
What is the max hit of the because I feel like it scales in teams, because like when you're doing a solo, I've seen people just get hit the first 2 balls or something like that. But I think it scales up with higher team, correct? To the point where it is just an insta KO.
I think it's always an insta KO. The thing is, like, for example, let's say you're in a trio and your 2 teammates die. I think the max then is like a 70.
Oh, okay.
Because you were technically in a team raid. But
interesting.
If you're actually in, I don't quote me on this because I've never soloed top, but I think that if you're in a solo, it will always hit the max hit it can, like no matter where you reach.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
For some reason in my head, and
I could be wrong.
I would love to be able to confirm this at the moment, but I feel like I've seen, like back when a cold one was running a bunch of solo tops, I feel like whenever he would enter the room, he'd always like just full tank the first ball because it just never would kill him.
Maybe it is the same thing as the
maybe
trio,
it is
like I was saying.
In fact, when you say 70, I actually feel like that is the number that I've seen in my head. Maybe I'm just making shit up.
That probably is it then. But, yeah. No, you're probably right. That would make sense, honestly.
Yeah.
I just never soloed top, so.
Yeah. What would you ever do that, or is that just like a stupid flex to do on a hardcore? I'm asking.
On a hardcore?
Yeah.
If I was like a cold one level, maybe, but yeah. I'm never gonna get to that.
Well, you say that, but you have a fucking Zuck helm on a hardcore, and you're saying you can never get to that.
No, I could. Sorry, let me rephrase myself. Okay. I would never waste my time on that.
Yeah, there we go.
That's like way too many hours.
Yeah. And the amount of practice you'd have to put in on a main just to fucking flex it that nobody even cares about these days. I feel like nobody really cares about solo top these days. It used to be like the craziest thing ever. Now it's like, who cares? I feel like the Blood Fury was the worst when it came to that. It just kind of like devalued it overnight.
Yeah. So I feel like if bro, imagine like a hardcore soloing like hard mode top. I feel like that would be the sickest achievement today if done. Like single achievement and at least like that would be insane. I don't think anybody's ever even attempted that for good reasons, because like first of all, you probably need a site for that. You could probably do without it, but at that point, like, I don't know. Is it even worth sending your account?
Nah, dude.
I think like people like a cold one could do that. Maybe one day he'll send it.
The hardest thing would be this is just gonna sound so stupid, but just the fact that it's happened on a main means it could potentially be done on a hardcore. But I was thinking like Port Khazard's like what was it, 54 Awaken, was it 56 or 54? It was 54.
Oh my god.
Awaken Leviathans, but do it on a hardcore. So you got to collect all the orbs first and then go in there and send it with one fucking prayer point the whole time, basically.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
And then you're like freaking 20 orbs in and you have to like tell Ian you have to go get more orbs. Oh my god. Yeah. That'd be insane. That would be insane.
The way Port Khazard did it was he just had it all in his looting bag. So like his inventory was the inventory. It was all it was like I think it was I don't even actually think it was a rune pouch in there, because I think what he did was he like stored the runes in these charged weapons, and he like wielded the weapons and then like dismantled them for the runes or something fucking bizarre. And then he had to destroy the looting bag to get out the remaining orbs after he already had done like 25 straight. And I'm like, dude, this is psychotic, like actually psychotic.
Yeah, he's on another level, bro.
Dude, it's just insane. Like the level, it's like me saying or you saying he's on a different level doesn't even come close to describing how insane this dude is. Like, I want to see anybody do Awaken Leviathan on any fucking account just once with like 5 prayer points. Just do that. Like, that shit is fucking hard, especially at the end.
Not shadow barraging the boss either, to like, because he didn't shadow barrage because he didn't have the empty space for it. It was just orbs. So you literally have to like at a certain point.
Wait, was that it? I thought he
no reaction time.
I thought he ended up getting the runes from those weapons though, because I don't think he did 54. Yeah, no, he didn't do 54 with the. I have seen that, however, that was noob type, right? Doing the no shadow barrage, just like the fucking.
I think he didn't use shadow barrage.
Let me look this up, and now I'm curious because I feel like I haven't seen this in forever, but I'm almost certain he pulled out runes somehow. Let me see.
Yeah, 10 months ago, dude. Holy shit, time flies.
This is so fucking crazy. Yeah, so he gets the
No, yeah, he's yeah. So I'm watching the video right now, and he's just like manually. Wait, he does have Shadow Barrage though. No, you're right.
yeah, he does.
No?
He pulled it out from, I think it was like the let me see, where does he grab this at? I'm trying to look at the beginning of the video, but this video is 6.5 hours and it's impossible to like scrub through this shit. He ended up getting, oh yeah, so he could only use 3 prayer points per kill. I was saying 5 and I was already like, maybe that's a little bit like extreme. No, it was less than
Okay,
that.
he just had a room pouch. Okay, no, he just had a room pouch.
Oh, he did just have a rune
bag.
pouch. Okay.
Yeah, no, I thought he was a shadow barraging and everything, but I know that like you said, like noob type of stuff has done that, where like you don't even shadow barrage the boss. That's just crazy, bro.
Yeah. Dude, wait. Bro, look at, I don't know if you have the video pulled up. Look at around 4 hours and 50 minutes in. He gets 1 HP'd, bro.
450. Holy shit.
Bruh. Bro, oh my god. The fact that you keep your composure after that is just insane. To not like tell, because any hardcore, if you hit that, is like insta-telly or whatever, and like, but he's already 30 orbs in, or 35 orbs in or whatever. Like that's,
yeah, no, this is crazy. This is madness.
I know. I just like, I bring that shit up because it's so mind-boggling compared to like any other thing. To do one thing once, that's one thing, but to do it 54 times in a row, all recorded, all perfect without dying is, like, it's not perfect. He I think he did get chance right there, but yeah, he sucks. And he's shit. He got chanced at 4 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, I could have done that on an off day, man. So
yeah. Dude, okay. Oh yeah, so I wanted to move on to raids for rewards. Do you have any concepts in mind of what you would want to see for raids for rewards?
I feel like a mega rare is really tough to design at this point. I wouldn't know what to do as a dev at this point, because you got the T-Bow, the Shadow, the Scythe, the 3 mega rares for their respective styles. But I feel like a mega rare should be a weapon. It's always cool to see a weapon, and then like, I don't know, maybe something different. Maybe like a 3 tile. This is just me like saying shit. I don't know how this would work. Like a 3 tile melee weapon, or a 2-tick melee weapon. We haven't seen that, because if you really think about it, it sounds good, but it would be really hard to use. Like, it's like a blowpipe, but you have to be in front of the NPC at all times.
Yep.
Where like you it's really hard to not lose ticks with something like that. Or I don't know, maybe it could be, it could not be a weapon, I guess. I don't know. I've heard people talking about like 2 ring slots, or like a permanent upgrade to like your ring, where like you have like a Ultor and like a light bearer all the time, or
Yeah.
like an Ultor or Bellator. That would just be disgusting, honestly. And maybe you can't like use the same 2 rings at the same time. Like you can't have 2 Ultors, for example. Like that'd just be disgusting. I don't know. Thankfully I'm not a game dev, because I honestly wouldn't know what to do. So I totally get them like trying to get suggestions from the community. What's your thoughts on that? Because I really don't know.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I do like the fast tick weapon. That's, I feel like the thing I've been proposing most is, and for years, I just want mega rares to feel like it's an actual skill to use as well. So it's not just every noob can just pull up with a mega rare and do very reasonable DPS. Like I want it, a 2-tick, losing 1 tick with a 2-tick weapon is losing 50% DPS, whereas losing a tick with a scythe is losing like what, 20 or less, 16% or something. Maybe it is 20%. 20% DPS.
Yeah,
yeah.
And it is 5 ticks, so it's like super easy to not lose ticks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it's so easy to use those things, and it's I mean, and on top of that, you also have the convenience of it just being a like a 2-handed weapon. So it's just like easier switches, a super slow weapon. It really doesn't even cost much either. These weapons are, because they're slow as well, the rune cost to a lot of these, I mean, I guess if you're just using it for everything, you'll see the runes plummet, but like This stuff is very, very, very cheap to use for the power that it's delivering. Like the Shadow could be 5 times more expensive in my view, and it's like it would still be OP in my opinion, because runes are just whatever. You just can make them with GP. But beyond all the pricing or whatever, I would love to see a 2-tick melee weapon. I think that's ideally what I'd want to see. That is crush based, and it just ends up being the best weapon across the game for crush, if you can maintain DPS again. So it's in a lot of situations, I always bring this example up of like blowpipe on paper, might be better DPS in a lot of situations, but there's so many places where you just can't use it. Like Zilliana, I'm certain the T-bow's actually better than a blowpipe, but had blowpipe been best at Zilliana, you still wouldn't use it there because it's just awkward running it in a solo. You'd want to use a slower weapon.
Definitely take hits, and then you gotta eat, and then that's a DPS loss.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. 2-tick melee weapon would be sick. Like if you think about it, like people would be like, oh my god, that'd be way too OP for like Nilos, but in reality, like you gotta be.
You'd be losing ticks all over the place. It would still be worth
100%.
using, but yeah, just so many ticks lost. So again, like in theory, on paper, you run the numbers, this shit would be insanity. But in practice, it's going to be much harder to maintain.
Completely
And
different.
I'm only seeing this weapon as, and it could even, you could even still hold the scythe in a good position. I mean, one way is just by making this new 2-tick weapon just crush based. So anything that's crush would be the only places you're really using it. But even if this was a more all-around weapon where it just is something you're just rocking up to, even something that's more stab weak or slash weak, you're still pulling up with this. I can see maybe this being right on par with the Scythe's DPS against a 3x3. So like wherever the Scythe is best used, this new 2-tick weapon would like match that DPS. So basically anywhere else, the 2-tick weapon would actually be better than a Scythe, again assuming 0 DPS loss. But if you're expecting any DPS loss, really the Scythe's going to overtake it. So you kind of, and again, it's like 2 different styles. You got the crush and you got the slash, and I'd honestly be okay with the Scythe just becoming a slash weapon. I genuinely do not understand how the hell a Scythe, like when you look at that thing, how the fuck is that crushing anything? It's like
it still does the same animation and shit.
Yeah, it makes 0 sense. So I maybe can see people being against that, but if you come out with a second mega rare that is crush focused, get rid of the crush option on the slashy boy. Like I don't know, that's my view.
I'm fine with that. Yeah. What do you think about like a hybrid weapon? Like how they've been like Perilous Moons, for example, all these new hybrid sets, and they've been experimenting with that. What about like a melee mage weapon or a range melee or a range mage? I don't know, something like that would be cool. I don't know how the hell they would design that.
We were talking on, I think it was just like last week's Say More maybe, or the one I haven't uploaded yet, but we were talking about raids for weapons, and I was thinking, what if we actually just came out with a very basic sort of weapon on the surface? So like just a 4-tick one-handed sword that comes out, but the difference is that this sword is magic based damage, but it's still rolling off of your melee strength gear. So you're still rolling up with full Torva, you're still rolling up with your
like
old
a Voidwaker spec.
Yeah, but it's not a guaranteed damage, but it has that same effect of like I guess the Voidwaker is hard to sort of compare it to because you're just always going to hit with the Voidwaker. But imagine the Voidwaker was also magic based when it's just slashing normally, like doing auto attacks. I feel like that could open up some windows if you were to come out with a powerful 4-tick weapon that is magic based. I think there's got to be, I haven't actually like really browsed the NPC list and seen all the levels of stuff, but I'm sure there's places where you would choose magic, you're choosing that. But if you had the option of rolling up with full melee and then using still magic damage type with a sword, like that sounds fucking interesting, low-key.
Yeah, that would actually be. This actually just came to my mind. Also, touching back on that 2-tick weapon. What if they come out with a mega rare where it starts off slower, and if you don't lose a tick, it gains a tick every time. Like this is just throwing out an example. It
Hmm.
starts at 5 tick, then it goes down to 4 tick, and if you don't lose the next 4 ticks, it goes down to 3, all the way down to 2. And if you can maintain that 2 tick pace, it'll stay at 2 ticks. Like that would also be
That
kind of sick.
yeah, that's interesting in theory. I think the issue with it is the simple fact that every time you start attacking again, you're going to be pissed off. Like every
Yeah,
time you do lose a tick, you're just going to be
100%.
fucking furious. You're like,
Yeah.
God damn it, dude. And it's going to throw off your
But
timing so hard. Like going
it
from
would be
5 to
really
4
hard
to
to.
3.
Maybe it's like the blood boppers where it starts at, instead of 4 tick like the blood boppers, it'll start at 3 and just go to 2. I don't know.
Yeah, you could
Something like that would be cool.
you could even have something, because I love the idea of being encouraged to not lose DPS. So what if you
Yeah,
had
exactly.
what if you had a 2-tick weapon that this is such a boring answer because we've already kind of seen these sorts of weapons, but like a burning effect. So the more you don't lose ticks, the more the burning adds on, but it's kind of a slow burn. So like at first, you don't get any burn damage until you've done at least 5 consecutive attacks, no losing anything, and then all of a sudden you've now attributed 1 burn damage to this guy. And then if you can maintain another 5 hits or something, and now it's going to start stacking on 2 burn damage, and it's just going to keep stacking that up until you lose ticks, and then that's where it'll kind of just remain until I think generally how burn works is like you get 5 burn splats and then it dissipates. So
Yeah.
if you could make a weapon that maintaining DPS is giving this little extra bit of burn damage to your opponents, one, in a lot of places this wouldn't even be valuable because most of the time with this weapon you're going to kill shit in 5 hits anyway. But in a place where a monster has an insane amount of DPS or HP, you're going to want to DPS as hard as you can. And if you don't lose any ticks, this burning is just going to keep burning and keep burning until the point where imagine it didn't even have a cap either. So again, this, I don't even think it would be a balancing issue because there's only very few monsters that actually have an insane amount of HP. But if you could just never lose a tick, which again is virtually impossible with most boss fights, there's always like random stuff you need to do. But if you could just keep maintaining it and just have this burning damage of like 10s going on alongside your DPS, that would be wild.
That would be insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ways they could go about it, but a fast melee weapon would be pretty cool. The only thing is, though, I do like seeing the big numbers. So obviously, at 2 ticks, you're not going to be seeing 80s and stuff. So that would be kind of depressing because, like, Mega Rare T-Bow hits a huge number of shadows, scythe. So,
Mhm.
but I don't know. The DPS at the end of the day, the DPS is going to be better for that certain weapon.
And
Well, yeah, I think it should be crush based. I think we have the Fang, the Scythe. Take the crush off of the Scythe and just give this weapon better, DPS than anything else for crush.
Yeah. And I also agree with the big number looking good. And that's where the scythe can still shine. Because if we're trying to outclass something and just kind of make another scythe, it just feels like you're gonna inevitably overshadow the
That's
scythe.
true. That
so
is true.
why not just keep Tob as the shining, like this bad boy hits hard, and then the raids for it can be more like skill approach. Like you got to really master this weapon if you want to get good with it. So
Yeah, I do like the like you said, like the mega rares are too easy to use. Like anybody can just rock up and do decent DPS, even if they're losing a couple ticks here and there.
yeah.
So more skillful mega rare would be dope.
What are your thoughts on a new melee prayer as well? I think that's the other big thing I'm actually sort of advocating for at this point is we've had piety since the inception of old school, and we still use piety, and it's been over 13 years. So I would be okay if we just came out with a new prayer that was like level 85, just melee base, very similar to piety. It just replaces piety pretty much. Maybe level 85, maybe 90. I would say 85 just so there's room in the future to keep expanding. But it could just be as simple as upping everything by 5%. So it's nothing game breaking, but when you're attaching it to this new weapon as well, like everything just becomes way more exponential, in everything. So I do feel like a new prayer that's even minimal, that's like a piety 2.0 would be
Yeah, maybe
sick.
like Maybe they do it like Royal Tidings, where it just completely takes off piety from the prayer book and just puts that new one. Like when you get the Deadeye Eagle Eye completely goes away. I wouldn't be opposed to that. Piety had, like I said, it's been around for a long time, even in RS2 days. So shit, yeah. Prayer scroll as like not the mega rare, but maybe like the mid tier reward from the raid, where it's just a permanent unlock. It would always maintain value for sure, because like a Dex to this day, you know, it still has decent value.
Yeah, and we'll make it so if you're like a 1 defense pure, it just becomes chivalry, and you can just use chivalry now.
Bro, give them chivalry already, man.
Thank you.
Like, come on,
Thank you, man.
Just let them have it.
Like,
prayer is useless. Nobody uses that shit.
I know. It's so garbage. And the thing is, if you're a pure and you have 1 defense, the prayers, you getting an additional, what is the prayer do? Like 20% more defense. Going from level 1 defense to 20% more defense is still 1 fucking defense, basically. So like, like this prayer, all it's doing is consolidating 3. Well, I guess most pures are not using any fucking steel skin prayer, but like the fact that you still need to click on 2 offensive prayers and you're only getting 15% on each is just bizarre. It's just so silly.
Yeah, honestly, it would be sick for PKing as well. Like you don't have to the freaking brain as well.
God, like I
honestly do it. I don't give them chivalry, bro. It's been long enough. Like I don't know how I didn't pass the poll. People are just freaking assholes.
It's just being an asshole, because it does not affect anybody. Like when the only people that could even make an argument that this affects them is like they got killed by a pure out in the wilderness and they don't want them to get more DPS. But it's like, dude, when the fuck is the last time you got killed by a pure out in the wilderness? Like they're so easy to fight back. Like pures are the guys you want attacking you. So this is actually,
you can literally bolt rag and win.
No, seriously, like you can annihilate a pure. Like you can fuck their day up if you decide to retaliate. Like it's fun. So we should be encouraging more pures. This is the way to do it, boys. Anyway.
I agree.
Okay, so obviously we could talk all day about Raids 4 stuff, and there's so many ideas that could come out. It seems like more or less we sort of align with the same sentiments. So let's move on to just overall state of PVM currently. I think we can both agree all the latest PVM updates have pretty much been bangers. I'd even say I haven't done the Awakened Cow Boss yet, but even that looks pretty solid. Like it looks just
I haven't
fun.
done it either. Yeah, I was like, at the time I was like a couple days away from GM on the hardcore, so I just was full locked in on that. So I still haven't even tried it, but it does look good. Hopefully they don't come out with CAs for that. Fuck me, that would be crazy.
What about Oath? What about Radiant Oathplate? Do you think that'll ever be added?
No, they already. So they have. You just have to do 1 contract. I think that it should be added, because like it is, you know, one of the harder PVM challenges in the game. But I don't know. I feel like they already went about it the way they wanted to. They could always just integrity change that type of thing though. So I wouldn't even be upset, because then it would actually make me push for Radiant. Because right now I'm just like, oh, I don't even need to, you know. But if they made it, then I would have to. I do plan on going for it. I just am more focused on getting gear at the moment than that. And also I need 90 RC, which I don't have. Yeah. So that's another thing. Which is kind of dumb, but I get it. Like the Aether runes on the Radiant obviously makes sense. It is only like 7.5k though. I thought it was a lot more, like Blood Torval were like 20k per piece. But you actually could just like get 85 or 86 and then boost and make a bunch of Aether with like Scar Essence really quick. So I mean, they should make all 5 contracts to CA though. I mean, they should have done that. I would have had Radiant right now too, which would have been sick, or been dead.
Yeah.
I feel like the scariest thing is Bloody Blows though. If I can get past that, then I'll be fine. I already did 1 for GM, but I did the easiest one. It was 1 and done, the fucking Forfeit Breath. I just went and caught Marlins and made like extended staminas, and it was pretty easy.
Yeah. I do want to eventually touch on that deep sea trawling. I remember you bringing it up earlier, and I wanted to touch on it because I do enjoy that. But for the time being, I want to keep kind of circling around this like state of PVM. So I want to get your take on something. So for one, we can agree modifiers and invocations, these things are just not working really. Like they can work, I guess, but like people generally don't enjoy them and they just want to kind of jump into the content.
Give them buffs, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Buffs instead of debuffs.
If they ever do that kind of system again, just make it so. Don't even make it even a choice. Maybe I would even say you could just go through a wave based thing, and then at wave 10, now you get a new buff to your stuff, and then at wave 20, you get this new perk that gives you more spec juice, you know, and then at wave 30,
just make the waves harder. Yeah,
exactly.
Literally.
So make it more
like the adrenaline pot at TOA is such a good example. Like that is so fun to use. Like you sip the pot and every spec costs 50% less. Like you're just nonstop. You're using double ZCB and then you're search potting and then a third ZCB. Like that type of stuff is fun, man. That was so TOA. It does have implications, but the adrenaline pot is awesome.
Dude.
So that there could be like trade-offs as well. Like we said, like you get this buff, but your defense is now lowered. So make mistakes, you take more damage or shit like that.
I was thinking this would probably just be way too hectic, but the idea of a system like this could be interesting. But like imagine in the Coliseum, every wave, at some point in the wave, like halfway through, something spawns in the middle, kind of like Nightmare Zone, and it's like a power surge. So you gotta, but it's only there for like 10 seconds. So you gotta fucking run out to the middle and tank manticores and shit. But if you hit it, now you have a power surge, which is just literally unlimited spec for the rest of the wave.
That would be cool. Or like it could be a thing like, I don't know, I'm just, getting an idea now. Like Awaken Leviathan, when you stand in that thing and you get that damage buff.
Yes.
And you take 0, if you're not standing in there, you take more damage. Yep. But if you're standing in there, you're dealing more damage and also not taking any, I don't know, where like you have to follow it around the room and it has this set like course or something like that. I don't know. Shit like that could be cool. There's so many ways to go about it. But the state of PVM in general, I think the devs are getting it. Like I said earlier, they're aging my fine wine. They are understanding what is good and what isn't. Like Doom, for example. I love Doom personally. I think it was on release super challenging, and even like the best PVMers like had like no monkey and stuff. He said that it was a really hard boss. So and then time goes on and now everybody's doing it on their hardcore, doing deep delves and all that, so like it just pushes people to go to this next level of skill and PVM. And there's so many things that you can do, like you can use the blowpipe on the grubs to make your T-bow 3 ticks. Like shit like that is super sick. I love like stuff, little things like that you can do to like make the kills better or faster in a way where like you could just opt to not do that and have less DPS, or you could opt to get a little sweatier and have more DPS. Like it skill based things like that are awesome.
Okay, what about I want to touch on some of the like headaches we still kind of deal with, and this is more mid game kind of stuff. I feel like end game, if you already have a Zuck helm, a lot of the stuff I'll mention, one will be God Wars Dungeon KC. It really is not that big of a deal because you just have to get 15 to go through a door. It's a matter of seconds, and you already have like best in slot gear too, so everything's way faster. But if you were to be a mid-game account and you didn't want to go down the beaten path of Barrows and Moons and you just wanted to kind of go to God Wars Dungeon and fuck around there, it's such a headache, man. Like it is truly, like if you wanted to go to Saradomin and you're a hardcore, like
the worst.
There is, I mean, I have a desire to go and kill Sarah on this account on my new hardcore and like to get an SGS early on. But then I actually think of all the details with it, which is, okay, do I really want to go to a multi-area out in the wilderness to collect keys? Not really. And so that means I got to kill these motherfucking wizards that all have like 100 or 150 or 200 HP. I don't even know, probably like 120 or something. But like, you got to kill these goddamn wizards there, and you get one fucking KC per, like, or one like 1 point like toward your KC, and you got 40. So you got to go 40 of these guys just to go into the room for a little bit and fuck around like this. And again, it's fine if you're a main. It's fine if you just already have, I don't know, just a bunch of best in slot gear
keys from next or something.
Yeah.
Or you could just you do the one time 40 KC and then you just bank at next. But then you can't leave God Wars if you want to do a farming run or something.
Yes.
So there's always all that shit. So I don't know.
So this is what I would suggest. There's so many different ways to go about this. I mean, one would be adding ecumenical key shards to all the God Wars. One could just be fully eliminating KC. I don't think we need to do that. But what we could do is just make it so it's you weight all the things like they've done with Nex. So if you kill a Blood Reaver, you get some, and then if you kill one of the ancient wizards, you get a little bit more points, I think. And
I think that would be nice.
And so give us that, but also make it so you never lose your what am I even trying to think? Like the points for like your KC. Is it just KC?
Once you get the KC, once you're done, that would be
cool. No, not even that you're done, but that if you leave the area and come back, it's still there. And I want to offer a reason why. So if, for example, you were doing Konar and you got the fucking dog shit task of kill Bloodvelds in the God Wars dungeon area, and it's like, dude, I hate this. You would at least still have a bit of incentive to go there because it's just adding on to your KC for the future. If you want to do God Wars later, it's all building up KC.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Like you do the 120 Bloodvelds, you can do 3 Sammy trips now.
Yes.
And obviously it'll still take the 40 KC every time you go in.
Yes. And the same thing.
Okay.
And the same thing could be said about spiritual creatures. You get a spiritual creature task, that thing's dog shit. Nobody wants to do that. But if it was, you can go in there, and by the way, these spiritual creatures also give 5 points toward your KC instead, and then you get a task of 100. Now you're looking at like 500 KC points. Now you can go into a room like 12 times, and it's like over a course of a task, and so the task feels like it's worth something. And then on top of that, if you die at Nex and you've built up a bunch of Nex KC, that's not all wiped. I mean, that's happened to me many times, and it's happened to a lot of people, and it's fucking tilting because you're waiting for your 4-man team or whatever. You're all building up this KC for like an hour, and then you just die the first game, and you just want to log out for a week.
I've had times where not deaths, but I've had times where like I get to P2 and next when it chases you around, and like I just have to tab, and there goes like 300 of my KC, or like vice versa. My friend, my duo or trio dies, and then now I have to sit there just waiting for them. I'm just like making pots or something. It's
terrible.
God Wars isn't as prestigious as it used to be back in the day, where like you need to make the KC take a really long time. That actually is a good suggestion. I haven't heard that one. Yeah. Like just keep, even if you leave, like whatever you had stays, and whenever you enter the boss room, it still takes a bit of the KC.
Yes.
Depending on what tier you have from CAs. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good.
That'd be nice. It would also be
at a certain point, you probably like once you have GM, you wouldn't ever lose it because like you
just keep
who cares, bro? Like you got GM, like fuck it, let us have this perk. Maybe that's I don't know.
I mean, GM. I mean, the simple fact that GM only requires 15 KC, and you would go into, and especially if they weighted everything differently. So, for example, let's just say you go to Sarah, and every time you kill a minion, they give 3 points or 4 points or whatever toward your KC. Then it's like you do 1 kill, and if you're GM, you've already built up 15 points just from 1 kill. So it's like there really is this infinite loop of like as soon as you kind of hit GM or even maybe potentially master if you're good enough to just keep maintaining DPS in the room, it just kind of it feels more endless. Like you can just keep going in. So
I'm hella down for that. That's actually a good suggestion.
Yeah,
just give it to us, James. Give the Pures the chivalry. Give us the God Wars perks.
Yeah, so I don't know. I want places to feel, and this. I mean, I'm not even gonna really touch on this at all, but you already know my view on Nightmare. Like Nightmare being a side quest you could do on a sort of like entering end game or entering like late game stuff from mid game, and being able to go to Nightmare to get items would be really cool. But it's just not. It is never worth going to Nightmare because the drop rates are just absurd.
Literally. And even then, they took out a phase from Fosani. They made the rates better, and it's still like pretty shit,
Yeah,
which is crazy.
it is. It's insane.
Have you done Phosani since the face changes though? It feels so fast. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I did. I think I did like 20 kills on squat cam my iron. I'm trying to max right now, but I went there and I got the sleepy tablet because they also buffed that to like a 1 in 25. Ended up getting that like 6 KC, and yeah,
nice telly for the hard coup stuff.
Yeah, it's a chill fight these days. I feel like we should just scrap normal Nightmare. Fuck that place. Like who is doing that? Like actually, I don't get it.
I guess people for the pet, because like it's
or for the jar, like right? Isn't that what Mutts did for the jar?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
it's silly.
It's stuff, but yeah, Phosani's it's a really fun boss fight as well. It's like one of my favorite, to be honest. I don't feel like going there because, like you said, there's no point of even grinding that.
Yeah, like why?
But maybe with this new raid with crush based, maybe they do it like Masori, for example, where they give this new crush armor and then you can add Inquisitor to it to give it extra buffs.
Yes, I love the fortified version of Inquisitors. That
would be sick.
I imagine you've heard the hardcore main idea. You're also the one that kind of mentioned in the DM. So this is something like T Papa brought up to me like 2 years ago or something in the T Papa Tasty Sae Bae cast, and just thought it was brilliant. It's good for Jagex because it's just anything that's hardcore where you're paying for a new account every time you die is just extra money for them, and then it's more fun for us as well. And so again, for those that haven't necessarily heard it, there's a couple different options for a hardcore main. One is the very simple option, which is just add a mode in the main game that allows you to just make a hardcore main account, and so it just has like some weird symbol next to it, maybe some red blood or so, I don't even know, because it couldn't be an Iron Man helmet. It would just have to be some symbol next to your name saying that you're a hardcore that is also a main that can use the Grand Exchange. You can trade and everything, but it's just going to give you that extra bit of fun. Some people don't like it because they feel like it can just be boosted, but that's sort of the point. The point is that you can just boost the hell out of everything and just bring alts to everything, but you're still a hardcore. And then the other option is the separate server where every single person in the separate game world is a hardcore, and you all have one life, and everything in there is the exact same as the main game. It gets updated the exact same as the main game, except and you're a main account. Like you're just a hardcore main in this separate server, meaning you can use the Grand Exchange, you can trade people freely, you can boss with people freely, but every single person in there is a hardcore. And I just think, oh, I'd be all about that. So let me hear your take on this whole idea.
I honestly never heard that second take of war, like the separate server thing. Immediately what came to my head is though, like everybody would have to grind out the mega rares. At first there wouldn't be any T-Bows, any Scythes, any Shadows. That would be sick. But I feel like most people will like gatekeep, like even if they got a dupe, just like keep it to like not have the other hardcores like get as much kills per hour as them, or so I don't know, but obviously or like sell it for like 07.
There'd be
like
swapping.
5x.
There'd be swapping.
There'd be 5x for sure.
Bro,
like a T-bow.
Bro, okay, I had assumed for sure that you had heard the second. So that is the main thing that T-Papa was pitching to me. It's like separate server. Apparently they've done this with WoW, where like you just have a hardcore separate server.
That would be sick.
But dude, think about this. Like think about you spawning in. Every single person that you see around you has never died, because as soon as you die, you're kicked out of the server and you just get transferred to the main game as a normal account. So that was not originally the case when we were first talking about it. We were just thinking full account deletion, full stop, like that's it. But we were thinking, okay, it actually could make sense if the economy, or if the drop rates remain the same, XP rates are all the same, you could do the same thing they did with Fresh Start Worlds, where as soon as that 6-month period was over, everybody just gets transferred over to the main game with all your items and everything, and it's not gonna break the economy because in fact you were at a severe disadvantage gaining items in the first place because you're not using a lucrative economy, you're using this fucking starting out economy where everyone's dirt poor. But think about the idea of and everything would have the group hardcore rules. So Chambers is dangerous, Inferno's dangerous, everything is dangerous, and every single person you see has never died. So you
That would
would
be sick.
you would go to like raids, or like you'd go to TOB, let's just say, if you even made it that far, which I'm sure people could easily rush that far. But then if you die to bloat or something, or you get PK'd to bloat, you don't go to the cage. You're out of the game. You're out of the game world. Your account is now fully done. You'd have to make a new account. And what that also means is all the items you had in your bank, on you, everything is exited the game.
Deleted
So
from the server.
yeah, it's just because constant like funneling of like stuff. So prices are always going to be extreme, in my opinion, and everybody will basically have a mule account. Like you're going to have a mule where you're just hoarding everything on this account that's going to stay safe for the most part. But if you're ever trying to use a T-bow, like if you pulled a T-bow or pulled a scythe, you'd want to use it. But every time you're using it, it's fucking dangerous because you have the potential of just dying and losing it and being, so
Damn.
yeah.
That sounds sick, honestly. The separate server idea. I never thought of that. I guess I didn't watch that cast with Tasty and T-Bomb. Holy shit.
Dude. Yeah.
Honestly, if they do hardcore made, they should do it like that. Now that you mentioned that,
Yeah,
that would be sick. And like you said, if you want alts, you would have to like train those up as well to like even be able to do whatever. Like if you want to do 1+1 God Wars or whatever, maybe, which is dangerous as well because you're risking your alt now.
Yeah.
Not paying attention, you get like slapped on the side, and it's hard to control that many. Imagine doing some coxy shit where like you're doing 1+7 Ceredomin or something.
Jesus. Yeah, I see that. I'm just like, God,
it's
you're
insane.
You're insane. Yeah, I mean,
On,
that is the cool part. Is like you could alt, but if one account dies, it's over. And I know you're a PKer because I obviously was in your stream when you were doing that little like Vank event thing, and you're competent. And I want to bring this up because I know this would speak to you. But think about a hardcore main man separate server where you're entering the wilderness now. So.
Oh my God, I'd go kill everyone, bro.
but think about the risk. I mean, because for example, if anybody's imagining, oh, I got a clue scroll, I'm going to go out in the wilderness with nothing and it's fine. No, you always, whenever you enter the wilderness, you always have to be pimped out to the fucking gourd every time because you are risking everything. You're risking your whole bank, you're risking your whole account. Everything's on the line right now. So what that means is like, imagine locking down revs or something, or imagine locking down a wilderness boss. Or something, some plan
be in max gear where you don't ever see that. Like people usually go out there and like you were saying, like in the rags, but now you have to come out and like your freaking chain mace with your old tour, your shreds for roast, everything. Like
you legitimately have to be fully geared up to the brim. And I want to see the content that's made by PKers, because imagine all the PK scene joins up on this hardcore server and they're trying to dominate the wilderness. You could totally imagine this happening where they just want to kind of control this in the server. But try to imagine actually controlling this area. If you were to try to control an area. Back in the day, like back with multi-revs, I remember doing multi-revs for like 3 months straight. I was full degenning. I'm talking like 16 hours a day, similar to what you were doing on your hardcore on the GIM or whatever. And I remember having to mass up and take on a clan that was coming in, but every time you die, you just like teleport back and go. But no, this is not the case with this. Like if you have a fucking war out there, everybody that drops is out of the fucking server. It's over for you, dude.
That would be sick.
Like, dude, the stakes would be insanity. Like there would be so much like, there'd be so much chicken, like people would be playing chicken, like just like back and forth of like, do I even initiate this fight, because it's like it actually means so much for me to not die either.
Damn.
Yeah,
that would be, honestly, bro, that would be really good content.
It'd be insane.
Damn, give it to us, Jaggers. Give it to us.
It would be so fun.
And it would be a separate server, so it wouldn't even like, I feel like it wouldn't even taint the regular hardcore game mode.
It doesn't. It's completely separate. Everything is so different. And it's kind of like it's sort of like a vacation too. So if you're not a dedicated hardcore, you'd still probably want to fuck around on the game mode and just see what's going on, because you could still be a skiller. It's the same game. It's not like everything's dangerous all of a sudden. It's like, well, I mean, everything is dangerous, but like, it's not like everything's dead man mode. I was only bringing up the wilderness as like the normal wilderness, but you could just be a normal skiller and max an account on this game mode and just swap GP or whatever if you wanted. Like, so there'd be every type of player would be interested potentially in a game mode like this. You don't have to do the dangerous stuff.
Yeah, you could chase ranks, you know,
Yeah.
first to max and shit like that. Honestly, I've never like chased ranks on new game modes. That would be something I would actually like to do. Like see if I could like compete with like these top skillers, which I obviously wouldn't be able to because they're fucking insane, and they play a lot. But it's, I mean, I could play a lot too. But like, imagine like, I don't know, competing for ranks would be sick. To be honest.
Yeah, dude.
Like completely trying to be the first one to 99 Slayer or something like that would be content too.
It would be, man. It would be this endless, I feel like this endless sort of like treadmill of just like endless fun. I mean, because it could be a permanently run server. I highly doubt this would be anything like World 345 Deadman, where it's just completely dead, because if you log in there, it's just completely unfair from the get-go, because everybody can just like attack. Well, I actually don't really know how it all works. I think there's like a huge grace period and stuff, whatever, but like
it's like 12 hours,
but nobody wants to fucking feel like you're just always being a target on stuff. Like there's a reason barely anybody plays PvP only stuff. I mean, it's exciting for content, but that's the extent of it. Nobody really wants to just play that without making a YouTube series on it.
Yep.
So anyway,
it's kind of dead.
Yeah, and this would.
Nah, hardcore main sounds sick, bro. That honestly, you have me like excited for something that's not even gonna potentially come out.
But dude,
honestly, if it does, I would honestly like put my hardcore to the side and just like AFK backset and play this like full bro, full attention to this.
I would too. I would stop everything I'm doing and fucking sweat the hell out of this. I would be all about it. I would just be having the time of my goddamn life, and just knowing everybody else around you has never died either. You could even bring back dangerous random events potentially, because imagine you got people AFKing somewhere on this hardcore mode, and then this tree spirit comes and started like fucking killing them. I do feel like there actually is I'm against dangerous hardcores like randoms in the main game, because I just feel like it's an annoyance and just an interruption for no reason. But if it's in a hardcore version, it makes it so that AFKing on this server is truly a risk. Like you should not be AFKing at all. And I mean, imagine the griefing too. Like I died on my group hardcore last year to a fucking Zygamite in Fossil Island. I was on my way to my dad's place, fucking biking. And it was just in my pocket and I just died. But I was just thinking, like, dude, what if you had people on the shores of Fossil Island on this separate server that are all hardcores killing their fucking sand crabs, and you're that devious motherfucker that like ends up luring a Zygamite over to that area. I don't even know if it could actually reach there, but like you could somehow find out ways to just sabotage other hardcores that are around you, or like somebody splashing hilarious. Or just bring some aggressive NPC near them. That'd be just gold.
Imagine what if, like, I know you said like you get sent to the main server. What if everything that's on you drops to the ground? That would be crazy.
That
and you still keep whatever's in your bank, you know.
Okay,
but like, what if like everything whatever you have on you drops to the ground, and like people are just like standing on your loot pop? Because like back in the day, when somebody would get like the strange plant, dude, bro, I would literally just sit there like waiting to see if he would die, and then like try to pick up whatever he has, because bro's like alking for hours, probably auto clicking, you know. And like people would come up like that.
You could actually.
You know that one clip of that guy at like Iron Dragons?
Yeah, dude, the like, iconic thing.
Old clip. Looting the ranger boots and the fucking rocket and all that shit.
And he's like he's trying to like, dude, that clip, by the way, I've seen it like probably 20 times now. Every time it gets more and more painful to witness, because it's just the sheer he's panicking so hard, you can tell, and he's trying to keep his composure, but like he is struggling to read, dude. Like he can't even like hold his fucking mouse on the menu and like read the items.
I think he left behind some stuff too. Like he was just panicking so hard.
He did, and he's like tanking the dragon. He doesn't like put his prayer up or anything. It's just like the whole thing feels like a fever dream, dude. It's just you're just sitting there like, dude, I can't move. It feels like sleep paralysis watching the clip, I swear.
That clip is fucking hilarious, I'm not gonna lie.
You're right though, they could do that. But what about in a place like Tob? Because
there everything it just gets sent to the main server, I guess. Which is fair, like you're already risking your account at Tob, you know. This would just be like open world type stuff, like
yeah.
random event.
That'd be cool, dude. I actually like that. That's a good idea to bring back, because seriously, the only real issue with the gravestone or the death thing was, oh, by the way, I do want to address DDoSing potentially. This is the one thing with this. If you wanted to make this server actually reliable and something that can be enjoyed long term, Jagex needs to, if they were to ever actually seriously propose this into the game, what they need to do is from the get-go say, if we ever get any sort of DDoS attack on our end or any server issues on ours, we 100% will always roll back.
I'm fine with that.
Whatever happens. So in a way, it can be kind of annoying for somebody that, you know, ends up pulling something and then they roll back a little bit. But if they're always on the ball with rolling back stuff, like for example, if Bodhi is playing this mode or you're playing this mode and you're streaming it, and somebody's just viciously trying to shut down or, you know, shut off the servers or DDoS or whatever, if there's clear evidence that this was a broad server issue that actually just affected Jagex's things, they need to have a very, very strict rule that can be relied upon. That is always the rule will always be to roll back. And because I think there are situations, so even if everybody has a crystal, which I'll be honest, I really do feel like that crystal shouldn't charge anything, the escape crystal, or just charge way cheaper. But in like this hardcore mode, I'd be okay if the crystals were just free and everybody can use them. But there are situations like Toa, I believe, where like if you DC in a Toa room or something, it's just like instant death, I'm pretty sure. Even if it was like the Jagex servers or something.
They recently changed that to where if you have a crystal on you now and it's active, you get tellied out.
Oh, do you? Now. Okay.
Yeah.
I
like even if you're not in combat. Even if you're not in combat. They actually also made a recent change, a more recent one, where if you DC during the Skulls and Warden, you get tellied out. If your timer's on 2 seconds, like without taking damage, without logging out anything, you literally just get tellied out, which is super sick.
That's amazing. Yeah, because that feels like a death sentence. Like if you're just ever.
Yeah, that's 100% death.
Holy crap. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. That's I feel like there are potential issues maybe with DDoSing, especially if there's incentive. Like for example, bringing back items dropping on the ground, there'd be even more incentive to, you know, attack worlds and stuff. So I feel like that's the one issue that we would need to sort of discuss long term if this was actually.
Could you imagine trying to get like GM on that game mode, and like you need 5 people to be competent at hard mode top, and like have faith in them to not PK you. Let's say like you're in line to be like the first one to GM, and like all these people are like trying to get GM before you, and they're like trying to PK you or something. It would be fucking chaos, bro.
Dude,
it would actually be chaos. And like the mind games that would play, like honestly, that would be content, bro. That would be fucking content. Please give us this game mode, James, on a separate server. It has to be a separate server. Yeah, now you mentioned that.
I know. It sounds so much more exciting if you just know everybody around you is also hardcore. Everyone's the same rules. Everybody's on their fucking toes. Like, oh shit, like what's gonna happen?
That would honestly be sick. That honestly, I think that would be a lot of money for Jagex. Like not even. It like, would. Insane. The dev time for this is worth it for them. Honestly,
it's barely any dev time either. It's just the same fucking game, just copy pasted, boom, and everyone's a hardcore. Like that's literally it. Like it's just, it feels so simple and perfect. Like I can't.
I think they would literally come out with a certain amount of servers, and there would be people that can't even log in. Like that's how popular this would be, in my opinion. Dude, and they would have to come out with more servers.
They would have to. Imagine. Oh, I was thinking this when you were talking about CAs. You know, getting Zuckhelm. Imagine though, if there, let's just say there was only 20 worlds. I'm sure there'd be many more than that. But let's just say there was only 20 worlds you could hop to on this server. That means like doing wilderness activities is frightening. And imagine trying to get CAs done out in the wilderness when you know that there are people specifically like locking down these areas. And
oh my god, the Scorpius CAs, bro, where it's 50 will they multi, like
you got to bring a full ass you got to form your own clan basically that is
Literally.
dedicated to saving you, like genuinely. Like you would have to go out there, do it completely under wraps. Like you can't let anybody else know that you're doing this, and you have to get like full protection and like.
Or like, there's this method. I don't know if you've ever seen it. This is how Exact got his like 2K Scorpia, where you have one alt in each corner. So you have 4 alts inside of Scorpia, and they all aggro the small scorpions. But you would have to then build these accounts to be able to do that. And then as soon as they die, you have to make them. It would just be fucking hilarious, bro. Like, I guess it wouldn't take too much to build them. Like, what do you need? Range prayer and maybe some, I don't know, antis. But it would just be fucking chaos, bro. Like, your accounts would just keep getting deleted. You have to make another one and another one.
Dude,
and it would be hilarious.
There's actually a really cool part about that, which means, you know how there's like scouting bots out in the wilderness? The fact that if you kill them, they're gone is going to be so much more rewarding to just be like, fuck you, dude. Like,
bro,
you're out. Go make another account.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's literally, yeah.
That would be, oh. Yeah, these are the conversations, by the way. Like, I've talked about this ad nauseum on my cast. I just bring it up with guests, and depending on how excited they get, which is 99% of the time they get really excited about it. Like, I don't understand how this can't just be in the game already. Like, this would be a revolutionary turning point in my view of like the game and going forward. Like, seriously, I could actually see this being the moment where the game really starts like diversifying in a lot of like really interesting ways, which some people could see as a threat to like old school's identity. But genuinely, I don't care if what that means is bringing the most exciting and most fun game mode of all time, especially for content creators. Like, I can't even imagine West Ham's video of him joining this server, joining up with his PK clans and taking over the wilderness and seeing that perspective and seeing like the flaws in it so you can take it over. And then some other PK clan, you know, detracts from it or whatever and just starts.
And at the end of the day, even someone like West Ham, who's amazing, all it takes is one death and that's it. Like, you have to literally be perfect all the time, and nobody will ever be perfect all the time. You will eventually die in PvP. Like, it's just like the Aegis Jamal, you know, that I had on Reese, you know, like, it's just, it can happen to anyone, bro. It can literally happen to anyone.
It's true. And think about this, you know, if one of the daunting parts people might be thinking about right now is like, oh, dying is just like, all right, I'm done with this game mode. I just built up all this thing and I died out in the wilderness or whatever. But if you think about it, I used to have a ton of fun as a child playing RuneScape out in the wilderness, like with a very low level account, like just fire striking shit, and just trying to form teams. Dude,
I used to remake accounts just to do that. Literally, just to do that.
I used to do that on the weekends with my friends. Like, I'd have a fucking sleepover and we just make new accounts and build up, you know, to 13 magic and just start fire striking shit. Like, that was it. And dude, with this server, you're gonna see a revival of that, because what it means is the highest stakes of all time going out into low level wildy. It only took a couple hours to train up the account. You're out there, you're fucking around, you end up dying, you just rebuild the account. So there'd be this endless recycling of this low level wildy as well, I think. And I think it would actually be extremely exciting, because for those that just don't really want to commit to the game mode, just spend a couple hours over a day and build up an account to just fuck around, and then when you die, you're over and you just go back to the main account for a bit, and then on another weekend
you can literally you can get to revs in like an hour nowadays, because all you do is you do Children of the Sun, you get the Eclipse revs, you get 100k or a little bit over, and you buy an airstrikes and you go airstrike imps, and then somebody comes and just PKs you like 20 levels higher, and that would just be fucking fun, bro.
It would, dude.
And then somebody kills that guy, and like all those accounts get deleted at the end. It's honestly amazing.
Yeah.
And obviously in the wilderness you get to PK their loot, whatever they have on them.
Ooh, should we steal their bank too? Should that be? Nah, it shouldn't be bank too. That wouldn't be fair, because it would be a good thing for there to be some silver lining with the death of like, okay, at least I get to keep my bank in the main game and I'll just sell it all and then go back.
Yeah. No, you have to keep your bank, because that'd just be too nasty. And also that would keep the economy in line as well, because you know, people would just be able to keep the items in the server, which wouldn't make them as rare and stuff.
Well, that would be the case with muling, because for sure, like if you're a PKer, you're only ever going to bring what's actually on you. Like every time you go bank, it's just going to be your mule account that you're trading. Like that's all it's going to be.
Yeah, and then it just make that whole annoying process of having to trade over your stuff every time.
Yes.
Nah, yeah, definitely don't give the bank just whatever they have on them.
Ooh, you know what you could do actually? If I don't actually think muling is an issue. I think it's just going to be an organic thing that everyone's just going to be doing. But what if they wanted to get rid of muling? What they actually could do is make it so like your bank account is sort of this cloud bank account where like you could even set up like a code for it. So like if your player dies, you could still keep your bank account and you could actually transfer it to a new account that you make. So for example, who knows, maybe you could say if you die, you have an option of going to the main game or you have an option of just fully resetting, but you keep your bank. Actually, I think I brought up this idea and it doesn't work for a variety of reasons because there's like untradables and shit that would just not make any sense if you respawn and you keep your bank. So I actually take back this idea. It's too complicated. It's way too complicated. Like imagine you have an infernal cape in your bank and then you die and you have the choice of like respawning in Lumbridge. It just has like full level 1 stats and everything, and but you have your infernal cape and you can actually equip it because it doesn't have any requirements. Like that'd be interesting. So that would not be good.
Yeah, that'd be disgusting. Nah, but the idea of a hardcore main server, bro, honestly, like I talked about hardcore main before and I was always like, yeah, I'll try it out, you know, like I'll probably still play my hardcore Iron Man more. But if there was a separate server and everybody's a hardcore, I would play that full on, like I'd full time that shit, bro.
Same,
Holy shit, I'd go to Degen on that shit. Go for wings, go first to this, first to that. And like you said, make it like group hardcore, dangerous chambers, inferno, everything except PvP minigames like LMS and all, obviously shit like that. That is the only thing that can be safe.
Yeah, everything that's group hardcore rules. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm so glad that you're into it as well. I knew you would be. Like this is just pure excitement. There's like
honestly, if I heard that was coming out tomorrow, like I fucking would be like ready for a 24-hour stream off the roof.
Oh yeah, dude. I would start streaming again, like legit. Like I would actually go hard on streaming again if I could just get myself into this game mode, because I do feel like the actual streaming of it would be more exciting than the videos potentially. Just like the excitement of like doing dangerous stuff. I don't know. It's so cool.
And being the first to do a certain thing, like yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
All right. Well, I could again talk about that for hours as well, but we'll move on. Okay, so let's sort of wrapping things up a little bit. I just have a couple more things. What are things that you want to see in this game? I mean, do you ever just think to yourself as you're grinding or whatever, like, damn, this would be a nice thing for the game, but like, you know, what am I supposed to do? Like share my fucking idea on Reddit and get it have 0 upvotes? Like, is there anything, like if you were god of this game, what would you want to add or change or anything, like fully something that you would want selfishly?
Yeah. To be honest, I don't really think of anything specific that comes to mind right now. Maybe later I would think of something, but I do want to see. I don't know how they would do it, but like PVM be more challenging than it is right now. And I know it's getting more challenging, and like, but I don't know, dude. Like Awakened DT2 bosses, we're seeing it with that. We're seeing it with Radiant. We're seeing it with, but maybe repeatable PVM challenges that are really, really tough. Like Doom, for example, you have to do that multiple times. I feel like that is to date, the most, specifically for the Hardcore Man game mode, the most dangerous thing you can do. Not because you can't do it, like, in a sense, but you have to keep doing this, and it's a big risk. Obviously, you can just do the early delves and it can be safer, but maybe a boss where there's no like delve levels to it, you know, like you literally have to kill it from beginning to end, and it's super tough and super dangerous. I don't know. I feel like once you get to a certain point, it's I don't want to say easy, bro, because that would just be arrogant. It's not easy, but it gets easier, I guess. I don't know, man. Yeah. Like just make more challenging PVM, honestly. That's about it.
That's the crazy thing is, like, I don't even think you understand how far beyond you are than the average player. Like, just the fact that like that's what you're advocating for speaks volumes, because even though yes, we have the teleport crystal and like everything's kind of solved, you can just execute properly and you can pretty much get anything done. It's the sheer consistency of it all, like the fact that you never died once on your way to all of this, it just is the insane thing. And so like, even though yeah, in theory, if you had perfect connection, anybody can do this, it's like not really, because there's that human side of things where you just lose focus for a little bit and you're just dead. So
Yeah.
but that is, you know, respectable. I think oftentimes I am somebody that is resisting going down the route of harder and harder and harder PVM, only because I feel like we already have that for one. Like you can just arbitrarily make really, really difficult things for people. Whereas my view is more like I like the difficulty of GM because it is plausible to get it done, and it's not like you need to be some extraordinary wizard at the game to get it. And I would exactly, I can almost imagine you would be like, yeah, nobody really needs to be a wizard in the current game, but I think you'd be surprised just how much better you are than vast majority of players, and the dedication as well to actually stick with getting a Zuck helm. So, but still,
yeah, it's like you said, you don't have to be a mechanical wizard of any sort. You can just keep like speed tasks. You just keep resetting until you eventually get it. You know.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people it'll take a really long time. But I guess a good example I can think of is like one of my friends took like a week or two to get the delve speed. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And it is a really tough speed run, not like trying to like downplay his achievement or anything, but it took me, I did it like the first day I went for it, I got it like 5 times or something. So like, I don't know.
That's insane.
I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but they're, I don't know, man. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. I guess I'm just gassing myself up at this point.
I genuinely think it's just different mindset, where because there are genuinely so many people in this game that have convinced themselves like they can never do the Inferno, like no matter what, like they'll just never even enter there. It's not worth it. It's just too hard. And there's just so many people in that camp where if you could just convince somebody that they can do it. And I mean, I could say the same thing for myself. There's so many things in this game that I just don't want to do. I'm intimidated by it, or I just don't really want to get involved because I know how many hours it's going to take or whatever, or just like the constant failing of something is not going to feel fun. But if you could, it feels like what you have done and what others have done, like Mutts and these other super gamers, is like it feels like you're not battling that struggle as much. It feels like you have already committed and you've already decided like, this is something I can do and I'm going to go for it and I'm going to do everything I can to get it done. And it's just a different mindset, I feel like. So that's the impressive part, is just, and especially on your 11th hardcore, you know, recircling back to just the fact that this wasn't a one and done thing. So anybody that sees these insane feats, I mean, we could even circle it all the way back to Port Khazard's 54 Awakened Leviathan. This guy did not come out of his mom's womb being able to do this shit. He fucking practiced a shit ton. Like, he's just nonstop practicing, so much failing. He even made a 52 Awakened Leviathan video, or 53 or something, and he didn't even publish it because he realized he could one up it. So instead of like all those like 7 hours of doing that, to not even upload it or tell anybody really, and then to just one up it like a couple months later, but it's just, I don't know. I'm now.
Yeah, and the no prayer Inferno. No prayer.
Dude, that's
he was the first one to do that too.
It's so insane. I really want to see an account, by the way, that has 1 defense, 1 prayer Infernal Cape.
I think Exec did that, no?
I don't think so. I think every Infernal Cape I've seen so far has been like 30 prayer or higher. Like even Portuguese Arts was like 30 something. Like it wasn't even, like it was just no protections. But like I want to see them drop it all the way down to 1 prayer. Like just 1 prayer and
1 defense.
Yeah. That'd be crazy.
It is pretty sick that Exec did it. Yeah, no, I just looked up his Twitter. 1 defense, 30, 1 prayer. So not 1 prayer.
Damn, that's so insane. Dude, I feel like...
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck.
I feel like Exact, because he doesn't even like stream anymore, really. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up on my end. This is disgusting, dude. 1 defense, 31 prayer. Oh my god.
He's on another level.
9 hour cape. God. Anyway,
just an average 9 hour.
That dude's crazy.
And
all
the
right.
35 combat cape as well.
Yeah,
insane.
God damn. Like, you gotta love that place to spend all that time there. Like, fucking
There's
hell,
just
man.
so many things to learn with that. I could never. I mean, like, obviously, and anybody, and not to say anybody, but like anybody who is competent enough and willing to put in the time to learn these methods and these things to do can do it. But the fact of just going and doing it and taking the time and all that to learn all this shit, it was insane. Like we were talking about the solo top earlier, you know?
Yeah.
Like, obviously I could do it, but I would never spend the time to learn to do that. Yeah. Like, if I ever solo top, I would do it once, one and done, and that's it. Call it a day.
Yeah, it'd have to be like some forfeit too, like something that's actually like worth it. Like, all right, I'll do this if this happens.
So. You know, and that would be on a main, not a hardcore.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so sort of the last topic I kind of want to delve into. It's sort of broad, but circling back to like deep sea trawling, for example, and some skilling actually kind of scratching that itch of just being able to lock in and gain XP feels good. I gotta say, first off, I mean, I've only done deep sea trawling on Squat Cam for a little bit because I ended up building like a full rosewood hull. I killed like 5,000 frost dragons and everything. So I had like the pimped out thing. I was doing the Marlin route out there. And even with the fastest boat, that straightaway that it's like heading down south for like the Marlin spot out there, still you can't keep up with it unless you proactively are concentrated. And so you start ahead of it slightly and then you kind of like catch up by the end, or like it catches up with you and slightly surpasses you. But it was an enjoyable method, and especially the fact that you just get so much fish. Like, that was the best part about it, is like, oh my god, like. And so on my hardcore now, I am trying to get to deep sea trawling so I can start using halibut and marlin like from the get-go before I really even dive into all the combat stuff, which just sounds so sick.
Honestly, I really like the Marlin, and I'm using like a ironwood hole, and so like I can't even keep up most of the time, but it's just fun. I don't know why. I just like, and I do like the whole clicking every tick for the nets and stuff, and like trying to keep up with it is just like fun, because I've done the halibut, and I don't know why I enjoy the Marlin more. It's just like less downtime because it only stops for 30 seconds and then you're on the go constantly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why, I just feel like that's funner to me, like constantly moving and like trying to get the boat in the right position. And even with the ironwood hole, like I can keep up in there's certain spots in the Marlin where there's no way in hell like I would ever keep up, but there's certain spots where like I go ahead a little, like you said, and I use the boost and stuff, and like I can keep up. It's super fun. But like skilling like that is fun, and it's honestly, it's not even bad XP. I'll get like 50k fishing an hour, like 30k sailing. It's not the best, but it's pretty good. Would take it.
Oh, dang,
better than Blondes, and you catch more Blondes per hour. I mean, you can catch the same amount of fish as you would Blondes per hour with like a barrel.
That's insane.
Obviously, it's not an AFK, but yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. What do you think is your favorite type of skilling? If I were to ask it, like across the game, like when you make a new account, what's the thing you're excited to do, or like you kind of can lock in easier with?
Hunter rumors, honestly, nowadays.
Yes,
I like that.
bro. Holy shit.
I love those. Hunter rumors are sick. I like the little like every single time you complete when you get this little reward.
Yes.
And that like just feels so nice. It's like a little dopamine hit every single time. And when you get the piece of the whatever you're catching, that also feels like a nice little dopamine hit, you know? Like,
yeah.
It's just like the little sound.
They nailed it with that shit. I love the fact that you can just do one as well and you just get it and you're just back. And you're like, all right, that was piss easy. Dude,
and you can set up the block list to have like, you're doing efficient rumors per hour once you get to a certain point, and all that shit it's fire. I like Hunter. That's probably my favorite like
I might be with you.
Especially on a new account.
I might be with you actually, and yeah, it does. I think it does help. Like if you were a max account, I can see Hunter Rumors kind of be boring as fuck. But on a new account, all the stuff you get and the prayer from the bone shards and the nests,
The bird's nest for the brews, and the herbs for the early energy potions and all that shit.
wild.
It's so nice. I think I did like I got to 83 doing rumors at the start of my current hardcore, and it got me like 43 to like 65 prayers, so like halfway to piety. And then I paid for like a bunch of DMs, and then I got like 70 prayer literally before even starting moons, like just doing that. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's goated. That's a good answer. Honestly, I wasn't even really considering that, but yeah, the banger skilling update. Do you are you a player that would like to see, this is tracing all the way back to our original conversation about it, like would you want to see skilling become more like skill expressive, like something where like it drops and not everybody can do this? Like I feel like Sepulcher was a good example of it. Not like I'm saying that's what all skilling needs to be, is this super advanced stuff, but like something where skill expression can really be had, and not every 5-year-old can just log in day one and learn it in 5 minutes.
100%. That skilling can get to that level. And it should, and there can be methods for people who want to get less XP per hour, and they can AFK or semi AFK, and they can still do this activity and gain whatever reward it is that you get from it. But if people are willing to go above and beyond, there should always be an extra incentive or reward for those people who are willing to take that extra step or whatever. And skilling could definitely, like you said, Sepulcher is a great example. Like that shit, I've done it. I've maxed my account. I've gotten 99 there, but I never truly got like tick perfect with it. You know, like that shit is super hard. And there's people who can run that shit like on another level, like literally, and it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess I mainly bring up this topic because I would love to see a reality where old school RuneScape not only just delivers incredible PVM updates, which we've already seen, but incredible skilling updates where like we break free from this stupid mold that we have where skilling has to be just awful in every. I mean, they make some bangers, like don't get me wrong, like Hunter Rumors phenomenal, Sepulcher I enjoy. There are some skilling updates that I've actually truly enjoyed, like even the deep sea trawling is great, and some other things, but
yeah, the Barracuda trials are pretty cool too, and I think they're gonna come out with a new one as well.
Yeah.
But those get, I don't know, they get like, when sailing first came out, I loved them, but after doing them a while, especially that I did them on like 2 separate accounts, it did get a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring. But they were still very fun at first.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just a matter of, in my view, like coming up with interesting skilling methods that can be done slightly earlier on an account. Like it sucks the fact, like for example, agility, you are getting zero, like you're having negative fun training agility until you get to Sepulcher, and most people don't even decide to ever do Sepulcher. So it's this fucking shit show all the way to 99 with no real excitement, no real like fun course that's like maybe rhythmic and has like really good rewards and has a lot of skill expression to it that you can actually like delve into and feel like you're having a good time training a skill. Like right now, it truly does feel like some skills like agility are designed to be like torture. Like that's the purpose of it. Like the purpose is how much torture can you endure, and then you can flex that to other people. Like what's your agility? It's just like that is so sad that is how we're still thinking about skilling. Whereas PVM, imagine they were to do PVM where it feels like rooftops. You go to this boss and it's just like, just click it whenever you want and you'll go to the next obstacle and you just click that whenever you want. Like that would be fucking abysmal. Like we would all be up in pitchforks, but yet we just accept that skilling is pure shit.
No, skilling can be way better. So like for example, this isn't the most exciting thing, but like Pyramid Plunder, if you have a duo, you're like getting more XP per hour because you go your separate routes. And I don't know if you knew this, but like if there's only two people in this certain world, and he gets this door and that unlocks like the next room, you already know to go
Yep.
through that one, and that one's gonna work, and like shit like that. Or like it doesn't have to be in a dual skilling type of sense, but something maybe they could come out with something like a team skill, like where if your team performs better overall, you're getting more XP as well. Like that would be cool. Like
Yeah.
working together towards shit like that.
You're right about the kind of organic methods that sort of arise, like just the like duo plunder. I'm sure devs had no idea that people were going to be
Exactly.
taking advantage, because it's not even like bug abuse or anything. It's just taking advantage of the mechanics of it. And I think, yeah, more places where there could be some interesting mechanics, bringing other players along or whatever, it could be cool. So
Yeah. There's a lot
anyway,
of room for skilling to be like that. Thankfully, I'm not a game dev because I wouldn't know what the hell to do though.
yeah, I like thinking of the ideas, but actually coding them, I would have zero idea where the fuck to begin. So
Yeah.
yeah. Well, Soy Duro, I think we can sort of leave it off here, but I absolutely enjoyed this conversation. I especially love the hardcore main man mode world conversation. I always love when other people get excited. So, but I guess to wrap things up, I do want to congratulate you once again on such a massive achievement. I know probably for you now that it's been like a couple weeks, it probably just feels like like another normal day. But you really did do something historic. Being in the top 10 of getting a Zuck helmet on an Iron Man or on a hardcore Iron Man is wild, and it's truly an impressive feat, especially for today's day and age. I mean, I can definitely see in 5 or 10 years from now, there's going to be 100 plus hardcores with a Zuck helmet because something busted came out or something, and we're going to look back and maybe not see the differences of how much more difficult it used to be potentially. So yeah, just huge congratulations, and I wishing you the absolute best with your content going forward. And who knows, maybe if the hardcore main man mode comes out, we can see some incredible content from the Soy Duro stream. You get them for like rank 1 and stuff.
Yeah. 99 Slayer first to get it.
Hell
Something
yeah.
like that. Yo, thank you so much for having me, man. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed the talks, and yeah, Jagex, if you listen to this, any J-Body, bring out the hardcore game, main mode, bro, please. Like, oh my
Make
god,
us
I
happy,
would play
man.
that so hard, man.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like, like I said, I didn't think of the private, like the separate server, but that just adds a whole new element that would be insane. And
Yeah.
I, like you said, I wouldn't care if it like tainted the main game, like just because of how awesome and how much content. Fuck it, dude. Like, just bring it out.
Yeah, yeah. Same. I'm with you, dude. So great talking. I'm sure I'd if it ever does come out, I will be sure to re-invite you back on the cast and we can talk about it.
Awesome.
See if it
For
was
sure.
everything we hoped and dreamed. Maybe it just crashes and burns and it's just terrible. No, I can't actually see a world where it's terrible. It's just
Nah,
that
bro.
seems amazing.
I don't see it failing if it is brought out the way that we talked about.
Yeah. Well, cool, man. For those listening, definitely go check out Soy Duro's socials down below. I'm going to have his Twitch and everything else linked down below. So go check him out. And yeah, Soy Duro, congrats once again. And thank you for your time. And for everybody else, we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.